Okay. So to
Haha.
sort of give you guys the overview of today's session real quick before we get started, we're going to do the Wallace thing. We're going to have the group upkeep stuff where we set everybody's hunts and all that nonsense, downtime activities, and figure out what you guys want to research since you guys have three new beautiful corpses. And I get to tell you guys the new items that you now have, and then on top of that, after that we will do RP stuff, and I need everybody to stick around until the end. We're gonna have RP be a smidgen shorter this time, and I need everybody around for something I'm planning on doing at the end. So yeah, that's how that's going to go. Wallace, whenever you are ready.
Okay. I have to remember how to do walls for a second. Second month at Middle Tower. Some pieces, but no bigger picture. Welcome back, loyal readers and truth seekers. This month's blog has a few more clues to the mystery to be unraveled on top of what was learned last month. So let's cover some of the follow-ups to my suspicions. First, I got a chance to speak with Ellie, although I guess interrogate would be a more apt phrase given how I approached the conversation. Turned out, similar to Ash, Ellie came here some 4 or so years ago in the pursuit of studying engineering at Lacrimosa University to learn more about manatech and its uses. She seems intent on using it in some of her inventions and combining it with something, but the details of such she did not divulge. It seems her motivations are much more technology driven than villainous as well. Needless to say, Ellie is not currently a suspect of anything, nor does she seem to know much about Middle Tower and the motivations of the Everbright sisters beyond the establishment of Middle Tower as a countermeasure to the uptick in monsters. Unfortunately, I got wrapped up in my research after this, so I was unable to attend this month's group gathering for mission assignments and do not have much information regarding that. I was filled in briefly and encountered some of Mr. Sun's new agents, which has put me a bit more on edge that he was simply allowed to introduce some shady individuals to this fledgling organization. I'll try to keep an eye on them, but this introduces some new problems for as I still do not trust whatever organization Mr. Sun is working for. More importantly, every hunt this month has introduced a new piece to our growing puzzle regarding the mystery of these new monsters. The first hunt was a rather dangerous one, handled by M, Enlil, Mr. Sun, and Z. My personal thoughts on these four have not changed much, and I would still like to minimize interaction with them as much as possible. Although it does seem some suspicions of a sorry, although it does not seem like that will be too much of a problem for M either. Anyway, the hunt started with some suspicions of a steel-tongued salamander causing some disturbances in Night Knot around a bakery located in the area. However, what was most peculiar was the vents in some other places around the area were covered in ice, which is a known big weakness of steel-tongued salamander. Ultimately, the monster was discovered dead, and the real antagonist made its debut in the form of a bright flash of white. The culprit in question was a winter hunter marten, a very potent and deadly hunter native to Frostholm. It utilizes mana crystals formed in its tail to drop temperature around it, which can be used both defensively to mitigate fire and damage and other damage, and offensively to flash freeze around it and cause severe damage and frostbite. Because it needs time to recharge mana crystals after an attack, this can be used as a point of weakness. The group handling the mission cleverly decided to use water barrels against the monster to freeze it in place and make it easier to subdue. Although ultimately the group was successful, Mr. Sun suffered damage both self-inflicted via explosions, surprise, surprise, and the monster. Enlil was the first to recognize what the monster was, since she is a native of Frostholm. However, the arrival of Enlil and James is too soon for them to have brought this Martin with them, so they could not be the culprits in this case. A lot of problems seem to be pointing outside the group of Middle Tower, both hunters and administration, so I'll begin to turn my gaze elsewhere in research. This does not mean I will take my eyes off the Everbright sisters, especially Candace, as they still seem to be hiding something. Adding to the greater mystery was a strange clue from the hunt I had the great displeasure of participating in. For starters, the group I ended up with was not one for great conversation, Unfortunately, as the only member without a criminal record and the least reluctant to talk to people as necessary for progressing the hunt, I was chosen as the person in charge of speaking people. Just remembering those interactions sends a shudder down my spine, but needless to say, it did not go well for this group, nor one of my contacts. Ash was, as I expected, chaotic and childish with a lot to learn. She's a peculiar kid with lots of rampant emotions that she impulsively acts on, but I would be lying if I said I didn't feel bad about the amount of bodies she had to see in one day, a friend of hers included. Noah also performed as expected, both in investigation and breaking into students' rooms, and I was glad we got to work together again for something not in the wastes. Anyway, the investigation in question began with the simultaneous discovery of two bodies, one in Night Knot and one in Fairy Hook. The first body we investigated was of one Danny Charlotte, who had just died the night prior in an apartment in Fairy Hook. She was missing her left eye and had puncture wounds in intervals along her right arm, accompanied by a human bite mark on her right hand. Weirdly enough, the imprint of another body was found near her corpse on the couch, later discovered to be a friend of hers, Carrie Lowe, who also happened to be the apartment owner. The second body discovered was of one Josh Perry, which was about a day old at the time of its discovery. Similarly, this body also had its left eye missing, with the puncture wounds in intervals along the right arm. Again, the imprint of another body was found here near the corpse, discovered to be Danny Charlotte's body. Upon further investigation, we discovered that the two were childhood friends, and thus the pattern unfolded itself. As the group split off to investigate several aspects of the mystery, I revisited the first scene to see if my hunch was correct. I discovered that Carrie Lowe's friend of note was Dominic Rocco, whom she graduated with. Ash also happened to know him as a classmate at the university, which made her a potential victim if Carrie Lowe was not found soon. Unfortunately, after receiving the call from Candace about the discovery of Carrie's body at Dominic's place of residence, the fear became reality, and we had to act fast. This meant two things. One, the monster had some obsession with the left eye of a victim as possible point of entry. And two, it utilized the victim's brain to both access their memories for its next victims and control their movements. After discovering that Carrie's body had the same MO as the two prior, we rushed to Ash's apartment to discover a bloody handprint on her doorknob, but no forced entry. Unfortunately, the next door neighbor got into some trouble with the controlled corpse of Dominic. After a series of attempts to subdue the rampaging body, Ash was able to pop the culprit out of Dominic's left eye and save the neighbor who was under attack. The monster was one never before seen by either the Guild or Middle Tower, a spider-like creature that had a human-sized eye at its center connected by 8 cable-like legs. This creature used its sharp legs to penetrate the face of the victim and replace their eye in order to gain direct access to their brain and control them. This is how it attempted to attack us while we attempted to subdue and stop the creature so we could discover its weakness. Ultimately, we created a huge mess in the form of a panicked crowd that was handled thanks to me and campus security, and a mess and 1.5 destroyed dorm rooms thanks to Ash. Fortunately, before the creature escaped, Ash was able to do significant damage and destroy one of its legs, making the follow-up pursuit much easier. And no one in the crowd was injured, as it was dispersed before it was able to reach them. It was ultimately discovered in one of the students' abandoned dorm rooms and subdued by a well-placed shot from Noah's shotgun with the help of Ash's magic. However, the most peculiar thing was that as the monster attacked me, I noticed a strange marking on its underside. It had a strange umbrella-like mark, which I suspect is indicative of some underground organization that is responsible for the surge of monsters in Lacrimosa's walls. As of the time of writing this, I have no leads on what this organization might be, or who is involved in it, but I feel that it is most likely unrelated to the members of Middletown. I wish to approach Candace and Mr. Sun to see if they might know anything as well. I will also cautiously browse the Mananet to see if I can uncover without drawing too much attention to myself, as I fear I might be in dangerous territory now. My current theory is that the monster is possibly lab-made by whatever organization is running this operation, considering it was something never before seen. The final hunt of the month was handled by Red, Steel, James, and Little Willie. This was an interesting group of hunters, to say the least, but all capable nonetheless, except perhaps Little Willie. I don't know much outside of the reports, but apparently Little Willie was almost too eager and energetic to run headfirst into all sorts of trouble with the monster, causing injury to himself and his allies. This bodes ill for when I ultimately have to participate in a hunt with this headstrong, impulsive, childish fool. Anyway, I digress. The hunt in question was once again regarding disappearances of several pets and one Laura Miller around Ferry Hook and Timber Hill Park. However, this time the monster was a much more mobile hunter that could hunt in and out of the park, making it much more dangerous. The monster was a shark bud, a bulb-like plant monster that only moves underground via shark fins on its sack-like body. It senses and hunts its prey via excessive movement and grows in size the more it eats, growing taller than 20 feet in length. It is also native to the Amber Forest southeast of Frostholm, but again, unlikely to be James or Enlil. Its weak point was its peculiar orb that acted as both its heart and stomach, which glowed orange when it processed food. Using this knowledge, the group was able to kill the monster despite some setbacks caused by the reckless Lil Willy. Using some meat purchased from a butcher and the clever use of rocks to create excessive movements, they baited the monster and subdued it by targeting its heart. And with that, this month's hunts are concluded. We received a lot more puzzle pieces this month regarding these monsters, but I currently have no leads on where they fit. I'll do my best to follow the small thread I've been left with and see what unravels before me. Until next time, my faithful readers.
And with that, I would like to talk to Mr. Sun alone as we fade from that report into this. So it'll probably be easiest if we just jump down to waiting room, Mr. Sun.
Okay.
So, of course, listeners who are players, do not listen to this. It is imperative that you are not hearing this. I will wait but a moment for you to mute and do that stuff.
In the meantime, I'm going to make my avatar flash so y'all can see just how dashingly handsome Mr. Sun is. As he peers into your soul.
He does look quite nice.
He looks quite nice, we'll say.
So, let's reveal unto the audience what your mission was for the last session. The mission that was sent to you from Celestine Corporation was to... Where is it? I want the sort of exact wording that I used. Where is the horse on the beach man? There it is. Message from corporate. Make sure that a civilian is injured by the monster in this mission. The public needs to doubt Middle Tower. That is your task. You had the perfect opportunity to let this happen when the Winter Hunter Martin broke into the pub to attack.
Yep.
You had the perfect opportunity to let them get injured. You ran in. You screamed Middle Tower.
But I waited for a guy to get bit and pinned down first.
Yes.
So, mission objective complete.
Yes. Somebody did get injured. Mission completed unsuccessfully. The results of your actions, and how did Mr. Sun feel about that? Did he feel like he did the job well?
He does not dictate the emotions or the what somebody is to feel. That's just not in his job description. But can he let somebody get hurt? Sure, yeah, as long as they're going to be fine. But he's not going to let somebody die. Like, even they should know that he's not going to let that happen. So he did his job.
The results of your actions ended up seeming heroic to the people of the pub. The way you pushed off the Hunter Martin, let the man escape, and proceeded to lure it into the alleyways and back over towards the rest of your team. The people there in the pub saw it as heroic, and they only had one name to attach it to, and that was Middle Tower.
Well,
we now see you, Mr. Sun, walking into a board meeting. There are 4 figures there that you know quite well. Going by the names of Mr. Algol, who we have introduced to the audience before. We have mentioned Mr. Sargos, who handles inventory. You also see there Miss Beetlejuice and Dr. Gamma Corvi. And then at the head of the table, there are 2 seats filled by similar looking individuals named Jessica Green, and you do not know the name of the person sitting next to her. How does Mr. Sun feel sitting in front of some of the highest workers of Celestine Corporation?
Like he's about to disappear, but I imagine he's just standing quietly awaiting for this to begin.
The woman sitting next to Jessica Green speaks up. Mr. Sun, I don't think we've had the pleasure of meeting before, but I want to keep this quick so we can continue on with the rest of this meeting.
Okay.
Sometime this month, I do not care what it is. I do not care how. You must drop the reputation of Middle Tower. We need the city to not see them. We need the city to see them as something that is necessary but not correctly operating. Do you know why this is? You're a smart man. I'm sure you can guess.
Think I know the answer, yeah. Do you want me to explain?
Yes?
Probably so people will remain reliant on structures already in place and the purchasing of goods that is sold through Celestine, either to the public or private industry.
It's true. But we can't say that Middle Tower isn't a helpful institution. So the more likely scenario is that we also want to acquire Middle Tower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've guessed that far by now, as we have placed you in there, and now placed you in there with a group of 4 more than competent workers.
Yes.
And the
People.
last thing we want is to have those 4 workers turn against you.
Well, as nice as the manpower is, um, you should understand that industries aside from this one aren't very trusting. So putting more people around them, people that they don't even know the name of, is usually not beneficial. People like us, we can understand that. But in order to do what you're asking of me, and he holds up his arm, which is probably still in a cast, and he's bandaged from like nearly dying. I'm gonna need some real help earning trust if I'm gonna be put in a position where I'm even alone long enough to do the job that you're asking of me.
Fair enough. We can't give you much more as far as resources go, but we can give you time. You
The time,
have until what? This is your 3rd month over there. You have until the 6th month.
that should be long enough.
Middle Tower needs to be in a position where we can step in. We have
Under-
connections to the Bureau, and we can turn the Bureau's head around to letting us step in, then we will be golden. But it is a necessity that the public doesn't trust Middle Tower the way it is now.
Understandable. I have a quick question before I go think about this and how I'm going to go about this. The missions, the reports I've been sending in, I imagine you've been reading them.
Yes, of course.
Do we have any knowledge? Obviously, something that I won't help them with. I'm going to be intentionally uh, not helping them with their investigation. But do we know why monsters are coming from other areas other than Lacrimosa?
We have suspicions. Nothing concrete. The most we know is that there isn't one source. There
Okay.
are a few moving parts in play here that are all moving at the same time. But the good news about this is it is giving us plenty of leeway, as much as a scared populace can be dangerous, it can also be useful.
I think it goes without saying how detrimental it will be for the mission if they figure out what's going on first. So I just thought I would ask.
Of course. Anything you can do to, I guess, lead them away from that? By all means. We want Celestine to be the ones who step in and proverbially save the day when push comes to shove.
Of course. Well, unless there's anything else, I have a lot of work to get back to.
Of course. And, Mr. Sun, I do honestly wish that you have a wonderful day at the Festival of Remembrance today. Enjoy it and your day off.
Thank you. And with a slight bow, he turns and leaves.
Alrighty, let's jump back in with the full group, and we will get started.
Hello.
Hello.
People. Hello.
So yeah, I just read a lot of property.
Oh, are you guys looking at the
Yeah.
the recap?
They were saying like the Hunter Martin was probably with a lot of the damage, and I'm just like, no, we were talking with you yesterday, and you said that most of the damage was from
Well, no, I was saying that like
the shark
maybe
bud.
some of it was
or shark bud.
maybe.
Okay. You know, but we got it confirmed by you.
Yeah.
I fucked up real bad.
Yeah. Not only did he destroy personal belongings of 2 individuals, but also their entire dorm rooms of a prestiged university. So,
Also the only university.
yes. So, yeah.
Well,
He
that's
did
why.
save one of their lives though, so
That's why it's so prestigious. It's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well, it's not
directly
the
helped
only
save
one
one
in
of
the
their lives.
world. Technically, there's other universities and other cities, but that's beside the point. Mostly Heliosphere.
Yeah.
Anywho's it's. Let's get started, shall we? You have all come in for your monthly meeting with Candace, and everybody is circled around the middle tower lobby, with it feeling a lot more like the first time you all gathered here, with how many of you were actually able to show up this time. And let us begin the usual. Candace pulls out the blackboard and the 2 sign-up sheets, one for downtime activities and the other one for missions. Have the missions on the mission board been logged? Been archived? Yes, excellent.
Yes.
Cool. Which means we can delete these and we can get our next set of people. I will say I want to make sure that Hunt 1 is completely filled out as far as like players go.
Don't let that one be the 3-person. Is that all you're saying?
Oh, well, I just want to make sure it has like a full party, whether that be 4 or 3 of people who are here and ready.
Okay.
So,
From like this RP right now.
yeah, from like this group of people here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So feel free to sign up for that, and then any downtime activities, if you would like to change them, we will get to that. And while you guys are doing that, Ellie stands up and says, all right, I have 2 things for you all. Thanks to Z here, had a little bit of extra help getting both of these projects done. But I have these. And first she pulls out this, like, it looks kind of tacky, almost like a morph suit, like the ones that cover your whole body. And it is like this deep crimson color, similar to the color of the imp skin. And she says, voila, the imp suit, or imp skin, or whatever you would like to call it. This grants a whole 10 minutes of invisibility to everything under it, with a use of a mana crystal. Now, this doesn't mean that, like, nothing will be able to smell you or sense where you're walking or so on and so forth, but it will make you significantly less noticeable. It is fairly fragile, though, so please be careful with it and don't get, like, clawed or anything like that, because if anything breaks the surface of this, it will fizzle out immediately until it is repaired again. So, yes, and she pulls out this one can. It looks like a thermos, and she says, "Voila, the spore canister. This uses mana instantiation to create spores, which can daze a monster or scare it away, sort of depending on what the monster is. It can only work on creatures that can breathe. It should also stunt. Keep that in mind. And this as well takes 1 mana crystal every time you use it. It will sort of eat them up. And I will post these in the chat here so they can also be read. Bump. Oh.
Oh.
I accidentally copied an extra thing, and we will get right to that. Jackie, after Ellie's announcement, also stands up and says, due to, well, this last month and the number of patients we received, I would like to suggest a upgrade to my station. I will be able to help you guys heal a little bit more in between months than what I was able to do before. And how that transfers to game mechanics is if we upgrade Medical Bay, everybody will heal 1 extra harm between. So, for example, Mr. Sun right now starts his next hunt with 2 harm because he was dropped to 6 in his previous hunt. And you only heal 4 in between. So this would make it so that if you are dropped to 5 harm in a hunt, you would heal it all back. And if you were dropped to 6, you would heal back all but 1. And that is listed in the on the Middle Tower stats page for a whopping 70 supply. It is expensive, but potentially something that you all might want.
Is that something we discuss, or is that just something
Yes.
someone picks if they want to? Okay.
That is what this session is for. And I also have the list of the 3 new research options since you guys got parts from all 3 creatures. And Ellie also speaks up and is like, oh, also, off of the Hunter Martin, we were able to gather an assortment of mana crystals for use. And she holds out 8 mana crystals.
Oh.
So, if you guys want more, there are going to be ways to get more of these, but these are how a lot of the items that I am going to be making for you guys function. So, sort of keep that in mind. I will make a tab for this as well, so we can, here in the Middle Tower stats. So we can keep track of how many we have total. And pretty much whenever anybody from any group uses one of those items, it will take 1 away from the thing. These items are available to every group. There is only 1 of them. So, of course, like, if it's a group of 4 hunters, you're not going to have 4 spore canisters or 4 of the imp skins. Only
Right.
one person will be able to use it. However, they can be used for every hunt from now until they are completely broken or destroyed. So, and they can be used by every group of hunters as well. So if, say, group 1 uses the spore canister, then group 2, as long as there are mana crystals available, can also use the spore canister. So it is something to keep in mind, and they will always be stored in Ellie's workshop for whenever you want to come and grab them. So you don't necessarily have to have them on you from the start of a hunt to the end of it as well. And these will sort of build up over time as a range of tools that you guys will be able to use. So,
Question about the mana crystals.
yes.
How do we? Well, I guess first question is how do we get more?
They will occasionally be able to be gotten from monsters, depending on the monster, and then also there is a downtime activity that allows you to get some as well. It is
The scavenging teams.
yeah.
Also, what do
It's
mana
what?
crystals do again?
They power the new items.
Yes, they power the
okay.
items that you guys are going to be able to get.
Which downtime activity was it?
It is.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
Assist gathering teams. It's like the 4th
Mhm.
one down of the list.
Yeah. Okay.
You get
Cool.
1d6 plus 2 if you spend the
So-
month doing it.
I assume they don't like replenish per month. Then someone has to do that activity. Then
Yes, somebody would be
Okay.
doing that.
We do start with 8, so
But
I'm
and you
gonna use
also
8 in
figure,
one hunt.
well, it's also you figure if each thing is used once per each hunt each month, sending one person to do that replenishes our stock ever guaranteed because that's 3 mana crystals.
yeah.
Automatically.
But you can't, like Nox said, you can use them multiple times in a hunt also.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can. I'm saying if they're only, I don't think people are going to use them extremely often.
yeah.
But
Like-
if both items are used on all 3 hunts, that's 6
Yeah, then
crystals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then it gets expensive.
So on average.
So it's up to whoever if you want to take that. There will also be ways, and I will be adding more of them next month. More ways to get more upgrades, so some of these numbers will get bumped up. So,
Sure.
like an upgrade to assisting gathering teams or helping, like, to Candace's office so you can get more benefit from helping her during downtime, so on and so forth. The first one to sort of introduce the mechanic was the medical bay, since it was the most needed. And then next month I will introduce a few more options for you guys. So,
Candace gets a better phone for answering calls.
I
We
am
please get Emma phone.
I am
No,
also,
I'm gonna get
because
a
I
phone.
sort of rushed to get this stuff done, and Candace also goes up and makes a correction on the supply sheet. We actually have a bit more supply than I originally thought we did, and I had in the papers, because the glass eye hunt, as we have come to call that creature, was transferred from a 2-star problem to a 3-star. So that is an extra 50 supply for you to do as you please.
We were actually talking about that when you were talking with Mr. Sun earlier. We didn't know why there was more.
Yes. So,
Well,
Okay, I fixed all the calculations for everything. We just need to decide which ones to research and what upgrades to have.
cool. Yeah. So, what are you guys can sort of discuss now? What research options sort of interest you?
Grade the medical bay.
no, I personally was not
Please.
was not, but I both weeks I've been part of getting someone to the medical bay. So I believe that upgrading the medical bay is helpful.
Upgrade the medical bay.
Upgrade the medical bay.
Okay, that
So-
sounds like a pretty resounding
guys just-
answer.
I'll
so I
agree.
will.
If
I'll write
y'all
it
just
down.
took less
Med bay.
harm, you wouldn't have to upgrade the medical bay.
I
So
agree.
true.
So
yeah.
the medical
Minus
bay
70.
is now upgraded.
Things would
Yeah,
stop
well, that'd
dealing
be-
3 to 4 harm. We'll
Listen,
get right on that.
I've left
Okay.
both of my hunts with only 1 harm, so I don't know what the issue is for you guys.
I'd say
I was
we research-
unharmed my last time, so
I say we research both the winter martin and the glass eye personally.
We can only do a max of 2 researches, correct?
Depends on how many people are helping with downtime activities.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So it's only 1, but every additional person helping gives us an additional 1? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
So if Z is still helping in the
Research lab.
in the research
Z
lab,
has decided
then
to live
you'll get an
there.
extra one.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So
then
yeah,
we have-
so you guys have 2.
So we can do both winter martin and glass eye.
Yeah.
I
As-
also
Those are the...
vote for the glass eye.
As somebody who was on the shark bud hunt, those other 2 sound more important.
Yeah, the glass eye is basically like mind control. I have no idea what we're gonna get from that, but it's very important that we research it.
The other thing is, if you research things such as the glass eye, which was an unknown monster up to this point, they will cost a little bit more. But as portrayed here, how it costs 40 compared to the 30 and 20. But you will also gain some extra knowledge as to like what was used to make it, and perhaps some extra information for the overall mystery. So
Makes sense.
Supplies of no value to me. I will spend it.
Quick question.
Yes.
How much were the damages last month? Because I don't know if I added the calculations for that. Did I?
They were
It was,
in the
it was
yeah.
50. It was
260.
50, and it was counted in.
It already got counted.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
it already
cool,
got
cool.
counted in.
The current total says as of month 3.
Yeah, the reason I'm asking is because I'm doing the calculations.
Okay. I'm actively like subtracting and adding stuff as we go here. So, but cool. Is there? So that's the 2 things that you guys have decided on is Winter Martin and
Yep.
Glass Eye. Any objections?
No objections. Did you take out the upgrade of the med bay and upkeep?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
That's factored in on this.
Yeah, I just straight up subtracted that from current total supply, and
Okay,
because that goes into effect immediately for
Immediate.
this month, pretty much.
got it.
Yeah. So we still have 90 supply left over, and
Perfect.
Well,
Ash is
90
making
before anything.
supply back this month.
I was gonna say that you can go for a downtime to get supplies too.
Yeah, no, I'm going for the highest one, but it'll start my hunt off with the harm,
Why
which
would you
I'm
do
okay
that?
with.
Speaking of which, when should we change our downtime activity for this month?
You can do that now.
Yeah.
Decide on what you so desire, and if you would like to switch to something different, and then we will go from there. Nobody got their downtime activity from last session like taken away because of unstableness, because we had both Red and James in the medical bay, so they helped everybody do their things.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Switch my downtime activity. I would prefer to do it before my hunt rather than during the session.
So I have a question.
Yes.
When it says hone general skills and trained hunter, it says it's gained at the start of the month and can immediately level yourself up if applicable. Is that for next month or this month?
Where downtime activities, training, general skills. At the start of the month, level yourself up if applicable. This this is currently wrong. I did not mean to write this here. I meant to write this because I was making some changes and I didn't quite take them all out because I was this is one of the upgrades that we are going to be able to get essentially.
Oh.
Yes. I wrote
Spoilers.
this, so a little bit of spoilers there.
Can't believe we got
I will
spoiled.
keep this here, but I will keep this in some asterisk. This does not.
Okay, so I can't level up yet.
No, it would
Cool.
happen at the
Gotcha.
end of the month. Yes.
All right.
Is that the same for Train Hunter as well? Like if someone trained with Red, would Red be able to
Yes.
level up?
This is.
That's later with the upgrade, yeah.
Oh, that's so both of them are
Yes,
upgrades.
both of these are like end of the month that would happen. So.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Just barely off by 1 point. Oh.
Thank you for asking because, whoops. Any other, like logistical questions?
If I don't want to change my downtime activity, should I put something next to it or just leave it as is?
Just leave it as is. The
Okay.
only people that I'm going to message to remind are the people who are not here, which are Bulby and
Pyro.
Bull.
Quick question.
Yeah, it's
When
only
it
Bulby.
So when it comes to the whole like defending the walls for the supply thing, so I start hunt off with 1 harm. Is that next month that I start a month?
That will be
or
this
that I
month.
Or this month? Okay,
Yes, that
just
will be
making
this
sure.
month. Yes.
Just like double checking. Cool.
And
cool.
the downtime activity I'm writing in right now is for next month, not this month.
For
all of these are
No.
for this month.
Downtime
this meeting
activities
is
are for this
happening
month.
month 3, day 1, and it is what are you going to spend the next 30 days?
Yes, this is essentially
Yes.
what are you doing when you are not on your your week that you are on duty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little greedy, a little selfish.
I have to.
I'm being
I ha-
selfish.
I have to
Do
make
it.
up for the amount of damages.
Ash has
Listen,
to
it-
pay
it-
her keep.
It's just
I
one.
do.
It's one
Valiant
bridge and
and
2 dorm. What's the hardest? How much harm could it? I mean, how much damage?
I
could it really do?
destroyed a lot of personal belongings. And like, it's a prestigious university. Those things are high class.
Okay.
I destroyed 1.5.
I had a quick question about
Yes.
the Assist the Guild's Information Center
Mhm.
on the wording. It says low supply reward. Hold 1 + 1 for your any plus sharp roll.
Yeah, you have a whole +1.
So is it only
Maybe.
for your sharp rolls or
Yes.
for other people too?
Yes,
Okay.
that is for your.
Just making sure.
sharpness. Yes.
Cool.
Oh, I just realized the past 2 months I've been helping Candace by just gaining reputation.
Mm-hmm. Smiles.
That tracks.
Help Elliot just equipment. Repair hoverboard.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
In my mind, there need to be consequences for the results of the mission, and this is the consequence. Instead of spending time with Candace, here I am with Ellie.
Honestly,
Damn, you really got a diss on Ellie like that? What the fuck, Lil
Well, I've
Willy?
never met Ellie.
Ellie's cool,
Well,
I'll have
maybe
you
you
know.
should
Ellie. You
try.
just haven't spent time with Ellie.
he
Yeah,
hasn't
it's the
met
same
Ellie
thing.
like he's met Candace.
Heyo!
Heyo.
Gross.
Let me go down the current list of stuff. Has everybody figured out what they want to do for the downtime activity?
Yep, I've changed and put in mine.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to sort of go down the list here then. Noah will be assisting the guild's information center. Enlil will be assisting the docks. Wallace will be building relations with Sarah, hanging out with Sarah. James will be helping out in the medical bay, as well as Red. Lil Willie will be repairing his hoverboard with Ellie. Mr. Sun is going to be helping Candace.
Which help Candace is that, by the way? There's two.
Not
Oh
anymore.
yeah, which one specifically?
There's run errands or gather report.
Run errands will boost our reputation, so I would
Okay.
recommend that one.
Run errands.
Run errands. Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Ash will be defending the walls to pay for her
Crimes
property
against Skyrim and
damage.
their people.
Didn't mean to. I'm already in trouble with my.
And will be compiling information yet again. Z will be helping with research, and Steel will be honing general skills.
We don't know. That one could be different.
Yeah,
since
he
he's
might
not
update
here.
Oh,
his.
that's true.
You know what,
Because
we might
he's-
just.
everyone else is here though. So.
I mean, we could just delete that one.
We know not
Just
what
make it-
Steel will be doing.
Honestly, hone general skills isn't a bad hover.
We should probably leave it as is for now, and then ask
Yeah.
Colby later.
Yeah. Cool. Also, everybody make sure that you sign up for a hunt. There is, I believe, a few people missing from that list. So just check out the mission board and write names in.
Yeah, we only have 7 signed up right now.
And
I'm
then we will continue onward with our next topic, which is going to be very important. And then after that, we will be jumping into RP for a smidgen and running through some stuff. So keep in mind who you want to do some RP with. There's one of them that I know for sure, and that is going to be so flashing back to Mr. Sun in the medical bay with Red and James.
Yo.
That's ERP. That's it.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yo.
Sorry, I was reading names.
There's also a meeting between Sun and Ash.
True.
It's true.
Also in the
Also
medical bay.
Also, probably in the medical bay.
No.
And I
How
quickly
many
say
how many
about the
people were
mission
in the
board.
medical bay?
I believe
Five.
There's 5.
4 people ended at least 5 harm.
Oh,
What is what I
3
heard?
But
actually.
Or
One
three.
person
Okay.
got
About the mission
stabilized, I
board.
believe.
Okay, I heard wrong. I know there was a lot.
There
There
was
were
one per
3.
hunt.
What,
One in
Kyrie?
each hunt.
Can I say a thing about the mission board, please?
What's up?
Sure.
I don't think you can add your name to a cell until a person is clicked off of it. So for those of you who have already entered your names
Yeah,
on
yeah.
cells, can you click away from them?
That is true.
Hmm.
That is how Excel works.
And then Bolby just gets to
Cells at
choose
work.
which hunt he gets to be
Yep.
the 3 person.
Yeah, he's either in 2 or 3. So
He basically will decide which hunt will have 3 people.
I think he's going to choose number 3 because I've never been in a hunt with 4 people.
Neither have
Hello?
I. I'm very
Hello?
surprised.
True. Someone leave hunt 1 so Amy can go. 3
Never
people
been in
again.
one. Never been
No,
in one
you're
with
in
less than
hunt
4.
1, 2 people leave. It'll be 3. We just keep switching it out.
Well, I mean, whoever Mr. Sun's with, it's automatically -1 person because he's going to be in the armored truck the entire hunt.
It's true.
I thought you were going to say because he's going to shoot one of the other hunters.
Maybe.
you know what? You saying
Automatically
that
-1
actually,
person.
you saying that actually makes me want to switch to hunt. 3
Why
and
not?
just fill that out with 4
it.
people.
I'm gonna
Just-
be. He's gonna be in an armored truck the entire mission.
There we go. For some reason, my
I'll
mic
take
stopped
it,
working for a
James.
second.
Do I go 3 hunts in a row with Lil
3.
Willie?
Dude, do
I
it.
mean,
The best
I'm really tempted,
boys.
actually.
Four.
Do it.
Four people I have not been in a mission with. I believe.
I haven't been in one with Lil Willy, and I haven't been in one with Ash.
I haven't been in one with Red, James, Z, Enla, Mr. Sun. Or
I
Little
haven't
Will.
been in one with Red, James, Z, and Lil Willy and Mr. Sun.
Oh, this is actually a good setup for you.
Red,
We have a
James,
good way to just
Ash, that complete
question.
up there group, just not there.
I have one question, or
What's
like
up?
observation, more like that.
What's up?
So say James does move to Hunt 3, that means we'll have guaranteed all spell users for Hunt 1.
I have plus 2 weird. What are you talking about? We're already
That's four. That's
Wait.
4 spell users.
Wait, oh yeah, there are.
There's already 4 spell users in Hunt 1. What are you talking about?
I don't
I
know.
also-
my highest
remotely
stat.
close to that group.
I also will point out that if something dangerous happens in Hunt 1, we are down both of the people helping the med bay. Like we might have both people get
Yeah,
to
that
unstable
is-
who are
That's
helping the
okay.
med.
Yeah,
That
I
is-
might actually
It's
switch
okay.
that is my
James
only
is the
concern.
designated driver.
I'm
That is
gonna
my only
switch just
concern.
because of that.
It's okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
Red and James just need to stay as far away from Ash as possible.
Oh look, they were both in
Also, yeah, that
Ash's
is another
hunt.
thing is Ash and M are the 2 people. No, Ash, M, and Mr. Sun are the 3 people most likely to injure other people in their hunt.
Fine.
Sorry, but I
Ash-
want to see this. I want to see this.
Yes.
Okay.
Full mages.
all right. Well,
No, I want to see. I want to see this.
And the streak continues.
Oh boy.
Bring it.
Well, I have 2 people I haven't been.
I mean, it's because Noah's too good.
Me
The
too.
triple chaos.
I haven't been in any of these. I haven't been with any of these people.
Hun, the
I haven't been with them either.
the streak is.
Oh, not M,
Noah
sorry,
being,
Red.
Can you? Okay. The streak is this being Noah's 3rd hunt in a row where he is going to be on the 3-person party.
He's just too strong. He doesn't need any extra help.
It's too
No,
OP.
he's
Did you say?
indeed.
Did you see the way he cut through those traps?
Yeah, I
Man's
mean,
a legend.
I will say like
Overpowered.
Like,
What a legend.
a hunt of Noah, Enlil, and Steel isn't the worst group for it to be the 3. Like they
That-
are
that's
fairly
actually
capable.
It's a pretty good
balanced.
party.
That
Honestly,
gives-
Noah, Enlil, and any one other person sounds really good to me.
Yeah, it's a
Those two
good.
are
It's a,
both really good.
Pretty much.
Okay. Let's.
What are
Hop
these
over
X's and
to-
O's over here?
It's a tic
I
tac
think he was
toe.
playing tic tac toe. Yep,
Yes.
I figured.
God fucking damn it. Okay, let's hop on to our next topic, which is Candace sits down finally in front of all of you and says, okay, we have gotten quite a bit of information sort of scattered about over the last 2 months. But we need to start thinking, do we have any signs that could point towards a source for any of this? Do we have any leads currently that we would like to try and investigate deeper into? Let's sort of collaborate here and brainstorm some theories and some ideas and get a research party going.
I mean, I will say just as an observation, out of the 6 hunts that have happened, 5 of them have been either in Night Knot or Fairy Hunt. So those areas are being hit a lot by these things.
It's true.
This is also something I noticed. And
Yeah.
Wallace is going to pull up a picture on his phone of the marking that he saw in his hunt and hand it to Candace and ask, have you seen this symbol before?
To people who did not see it, it is in the shape of an umbrella, a half circle with a J shape under that. And taking a good look at it, she can't. I don't think this doesn't look familiar, but it's a good start at least. Hi, Luna.
Uh-huh. And Wallace will take his phone back and sit down and say, I figured as much, but I believe this is the symbol of some potential organization that is collecting monsters from around the world to hit Lacrimosa for some unknown reason.
This was on your
looking-
guys' second hunt, correct?
Correct, the one with the glass eye, which I also believe that because the glass eye has not been seen before, I believe it was potentially developed by said organization, and that is why they have their mark on it.
Okay.
So Wallace showed the picture to all of us, right?
I showed it to Candace.
Oh,
I
okay.
did not pass my phone around,
Okay.
but I could, so everyone could take a look at it.
Candace just like draws it with chalk on the blackboard,
Look,
since
look-
it was just a drawing of it on Wallace's phone.
Mhm.
Can I look around at the group and see if it looks like anyone here recognizes it?
Like, are you just sort of looking around the group right now and just sort of
Yeah, I'm gonna
trying
see
to
if-
think for yourself?
Yeah, just trying to gauge if it looks like anyone gives a.
Roll investigate a mystery.
Okay. I'm just checking something.
Oh my god, let me
situation.
let Luna out real quick.
Oh my god, rolls in RP sessions.
Come on, baby. Come on.
There's gonna be more later.
I will point out also, yes, the vast majority of them have been in either Night Knock or Fairy
It's
Hook.
noisy.
Those are the two largest areas of the city, taking up
Oh, yeah.
more than 60% of the city, and the other one was in Great Rock, which is the next largest.
Yeah,
So-
and a lot of the hunts have ended up in Great Rock as well,
Mhm.
near the
Mhm.
university. So
Of
that's
course, we're
another
not
thing.
gonna
What can we say? The Rock is pretty great.
need to go to the more affluent areas because they have like actual paid organizations already protecting them
Mhm.
against things like this.
I'm just pointing out that the locations around Lacrimosa may not. They may just be coincidence.
Yeah, honestly, it's like these have been targeted at the larger areas where people are living. It's not just like they're being thrown into intentionally populated areas,
When
not just like they're staying like in areas where it's like there's like lesser populations. It's like it's hitting the big people.
Also, I drew a diagram of what I think the thing looks like.
Technically, the densest population would be Night Knot, due to how the buildings are there, how it's a lot larger, like taller buildings, like 6-7 story apartment buildings, rather than the more, I guess, close-knit suburban living of Fairy Hook. Because while Fairy Hook takes up about the same amount of land, slightly less, it has less population density.
Yeah, with my role though, just I don't know if I have to pick
sorry.
questions for the holds as well.
With a full success, what were you sort of wondering? What was the question that you had?
Before I knew it was investigative mystery, my question was like, does anyone recognize it? But it's like, I guess the closest would be what is being concealed here. Like, are people trying to not make it obvious that they recognize this symbol?
You, from the group, you can't gather that anybody here would recognize this symbol. This is something that would be unknown to the party as a whole. Nobody recognizes this. You don't pick
the
that
only-
up from anybody's faces.
So the only person who might, if anyone, would be Steele, because he's the only one not here.
Yes.
Hint, hint.
Pyro's actually like a smuggling dog, smuggling all these monsters in.
Pyro has a cutie mark, and it's just the umbrella.
Coincidence he's not here.
I mean, if you're actually wondering about that, I doubt that kid knows much of anything. He barely knows anything about his own dog, let alone some sort of corp.
No, I also was not saying the thing about that was more a joke.
Well, if you think it is some sort of scientific corporation bent on loosing monsters throughout the city, the best way to go about doing that would be having these problems occur in a like lower society area or place without as much protection, such as the park or some of the slums like we've been to. At least on my missions. Has anybody,
Well,
other than I guess the school?
Well,
we've been to the docks before. I also think that if this corporation is letting loose monsters in the city, you can't really control where certain monsters go necessarily. They would run rampant, so they choose where they go, and choosing the most populated areas seems to be the most on course for monsters wanting to wreak havoc.
Yeah, they do seem to be either gravitating towards the higher density areas or areas where they can feel safer to hunt, such as, I believe that's why Fairy Hook may have been targeted. Or, in the case of the two plant-like monsters you all have fought, they have gravitated towards the park, that being somewhere more comfortable to their original environments.
I don't imagine a fungus moved on its own to the park, so someone probably put it there. Given that it hadn't spread to any other trees.
Also not a fungus that's from here originally. So
Also
it definitely
true.
was planted here by someone.
Yeah.
Also-
Where's the shark bud?
I believe these
I
monsters are being deliberately placed in these locations.
because also wasn't the shark bud originally from Frostholm as well?
Correct.
The
Well, near Frostholm.
The
Near.
shark
Near.
bud is
Yeah.
from the Amber Forest, which isn't
Yeah.
very near Frost. It's quite a ways southeast of Frostholm. It is,
Well,
also-
it
it's
is
definitely
much
not
closer
here.
to. It is much closer to a different city, the Garden, which we haven't heard much from in the last few years. It is rare for anybody to really go out that way due to the Amber Forest, but the citizens there tend to do quite well on their own.
That also means that that this monster was not from here.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Um,
we've
I
had
also have
3 of the 6 monsters not be like from notable locations.
And
I
all
did
3 of them
find-
were recent.
I did find something interesting a month ago. It's not too important, I don't think, but it's definitely worth noting. When we were investigating the imp in the city, I tried to track down where it started its mischief, and I found a hoard of bottles of glue. Physical glue. This imp had manifested every single prank of it with magic of some kind. So why would it start off with a man-made trap when it could just conjure it on its own?
And we know
Especially so close to the wall.
they weren't conjured because everything else that it conjured in, either after it was destroyed or after it was disarmed, like once it had been dealt with, it disappeared on its own.
Yeah. So it's possible that somebody gave it glue. It could also be that it stole it, but I also don't imagine that it would need to go through the effort to do that. But I just wanted to share that in case it's of importance to anybody.
Hmm.
Well, all signs point to some human influence, whether that be an organization, although I doubt it'd be a single person. It most likely is an organization of people. And all signs point to their influence, both on releasing these monsters and something possibly far more sinister.
I guess we just have to be on the lookout for any organizations that are closely associated with working with monsters.
I doubt they'd be out in the open, but it's a possibility.
Sips coffee loudly.
Yeah.
I think you might be on the money with this. I think you are exactly correct. I also think I know why there might be an upkeep. And I think it's due to Umbrella, or not Umbrella, sorry, Middle Tower.
What do you mean?
Candace.
Yes.
We don't really know a lot about you or your sister or really this organization in general. How did you go about either the funding or, getting this off the ground?
It was, for the most part, a right place, right time sort of deal. There was the uptick in monsters. We were about a year out from graduating. Me and Sarah were, and we gathered Jackie and Ellie, which were some of our former or nearby colleagues, and we offered to create an organization to solve this problem. That being said, there are no such thing as, I guess, coincidences. So, I believe there is one card we can lay on the table, just to make sure that everybody is aware of it. And this should hopefully be a fairly good sign of our trust, and that we are not trying to screw anybody over here. As I'm sure most of you know, perhaps not all of you, the leaders of this city, the Bureau, are 5 unknown people. They are purposefully kept incognito. Nobody knows who they are. But they are trusted to make decisions. It is in oligarchy, and for their own safety in these sort of still somewhat desperate times, they are kept secret. We know who one of those people are. We cannot reveal their identity, but we know one of them. We have a slight in that gave us an advantage over the rest of the organizations, or the rest of the agencies that stem from the guild that were trying to jump in on this. We know one of those 5 members.
And
that
of
is
course,
specifically me and Sarah know. And Sarah just nods quietly.
and of course, these 5 members all know each other.
Yes, of course.
Not to say they're all friends, kind of like us here at this table. Not all of us like each other or trust one another or are in one another's favor or
That is correct.
ideals. It can be safe to assume that the 5 people who make these decisions might not always agree with the other, such as a little startup organization for hunting monsters. Just a couple college graduates, relatively unknown doctor and engineer, more or less putting its roots in the city to compete with these much grander organizations that have been around decades. So,
You have a specific organization you're implying there, Mr. Sun?
yes, mine would definitely be one of them. They have taken a keen interest in Middle Tower, to say the least, but I have had the utmost misfortune as of this morning to learn that some of these 5 individuals don't really seem to be going to bat for Middle Tower.
There's no
And-
surprise there.
No surprise there.
I'm surprised you're being so open about this, Mr. Sun. I was expecting certainly less transparency about that from you.
Well, I promise you there's a lot I'm not telling you still. So I guess
I believe that.
live with that comfort in your heart that some things never change.
You also seem to be familiar with this situation as well, Candace.
Yes. Slightly. Again, knowing people has its benefits, especially as somebody so high up. There is a reason I found out about a lot of you, not only through my own research, but due to some connections.
Hmm.
It is... I guess it is easy to say that I trust you all quite a bit more now than I did before, else of course I wouldn't have told you about the member that I knew, or that I knew a member of the board to begin with. However, I will also give you this. My original reason for scouting all of you individually was you were all loose ends. Gathering you all in one place and having you work together and being able to observe from much closer is significantly easier than having you all run around alone.
I'm sorry, loose ends into what exactly?
Probably different things.
No, that makes sense.
I mean, think about each one of your... I don't know your entire stories, of course. I only know what has been revealed to me and what I have found out myself. But think about... I'm not going to ask you all to drop everything here and now and reveal all your cards, because we all
wouldn't
have...
that make it so that we would know who we're working with? If you have information about the people we're working with that could be shared.
Yes,
I'd
but it is
prefer
not
not-
up to me to force that information out of you all. I am not some kind
I mean, you
of
were been willing to
scientist.
share information before.
If we're all working to
Me
protect the city, I don't see why we need this information.
Yes, me revealing everybody's secrets, everybody here, from what I know, me doing that does not build trust. It is not my decision to do that. It is up to you all individually to come forward if you have something to say.
No, my statement was more on if you know things about us that I thinking of my own life, I can't think of a loose end that I am.
I
So if
can
you have a
I suggest that we probably drop the issue.
Yes, I can almost guarantee you that I do not know more about you than you know yourself. I know things that are surface level. I have been tracking rumors. Some of these rumors have seemed to be true, such as, well, our friend here, Red. I didn't know much about her, but, well, we have come to know her quite a bit more as of late. The point is, I just want everybody to know that if you have cards you want to reveal to us, that as far as I know, so far, I don't think anybody here would rat you out or any such matter. This is all that I am getting at.
Well,
I can't believe this all started when we were just trying to figure out what the uptick in monsters was.
Well, it can't be without its own issues, I guess. Anywho's it's. That does give us at least a small lead, although I doubt it will be easy to sort of look into your organization, Mr. Sun. So we could start snooping around the guild if we so desired.
I don't think this person is from my organization.
I find it highly unlikely if Mr. Sun has not recognized the symbol that it is anyone from the organization. As shady as they
I also
may be.
do want to say, while there are some things that I can't say because I do not want to be put in a body bag, I am kind of on a clock. If we can't figure out the cause of this by 3 meetings from now, I won't make it to that meeting.
Your organization is that strict about it?
Again, some things I can't say not only for my own life, but other people's.
You didn't tell me this.
I had a really
Sounds
rough
like very
morning,
important
Red.
information that you've withheld for this long.
Oh, it
Yes,
was
it
raging
does.
this morning.
I'm
Like-
sure he's been withholding all sorts of information that we can't know.
I agree with you there.
Mr. Sun,
I don't-
I have an important question for you. This is out of character, of course. Is the rest of your team here on this meeting?
God, no.
Okay.
I was about to ask that too.
God, no.
Please,
cool,
no.
cool. I was just making sure.
I will have Ash physically throw them out. Do
Okay.
not test me.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm
but-
magically playing.
Mr.
No, they-
Sun, I
They
feel
are
like
doing work.
Mr. Sun, I have a feeling that like you haven't been asked this yet, and I feel like you kind of really need to. Are you okay? Like,
This is hardly the time or the place.
Hardly the time or the place.
then how about this is the time or the place? There is one lead that we could follow of trying to find out where the specifically engineered monster that we suspect came from.
And what would that be?
The first victim, he had to have been attacked somewhere.
This is true.
He had to have had, and it seemed like he was talking and acting normal when he left his house, according to his sister. So it had to have been between there and Danny's house.
Hmm.
And
Either
where is
that or the sister
is-
knows something else.
Sister did not divulge where he went, so it might be worth a revisit.
She mentioned that he was just going out, I believe, to visit Danny. If not, then he was going out somewhere.
She said that he was going out to meet with some friends.
Whom we know one of.
So that begs the question, where did he get that? How did they get back to Danny's house so that this monster could then kill Danny?
From what I can gather, it seems one thing is clear. We don't have enough information to make a conclusion.
I have
No.
I have a quick question though. The and I don't want to step on anyone's religious toes, but we all know that the daughter of seasons, or the sisters of seasons rather, and their great ivory towers in the cities they're from, ours hasn't been seen for some time.
At least 100 years, yes.
At least 100 years, or so they say. And Lil, where you're from, was yours a little more transparent?
Present might be the word I would use.
Present, yeah.
Do
What are you getting at?
Would you like me to talk on this matter if you want to be open about this, Enlil?
Sure, because I don't have like actual tangible game mechanics information on hand about this.
Okay. So Enlil would know that the daughter of Ice is the one keeping the there is a giant ice wall around all of Frostholm. The daughter of Ice is the one keeping that wall up constantly. This extends upwards to the heavens as sort of far as people can see, and domes at the top just to keep out any sort of aerial monsters. And due to this, to keep this up constantly on top of monsters coming by and attacking it, she is essentially effectively bedridden, always lying about the castle of Frostholm, and there is a leader sort of put in her place. It is also fairly common knowledge that the daughter of Fire in Heliosphere is the leader of Heliosphere. Is the queen, so to speak.
But she is very present. Like,
yes.
People see her every now and then.
People don't really see the daughter of Ice, but they know that she exists, or at least presently think she exists.
I mean, it's evidence enough that she is still there
by the
there's
walls
a giant
being
ice
there.
wall around the city.
Exactly.
What about the fourth daughter?
Who fucking knows?
Yeah, the daughter of Wild. Nobody knows as, nobody knows a whole lot about the garden or the fourth city. So, it has been rumored that they still talk about, from the few people who have ventured that way, that they still talk about their daughter, but it is unknown how present their daughter is.
So the most present daughter in any of the cities is technically the daughter of Fire.
Yes.
Because she has a very direct hand in the way it's ruled.
I mean, when your domain is fire, there are probably very few things that are a threat to you.
Oh!
Well, okay.
You'd be surprised. There's a lot of things.
think there might be a difference between somebody who practices pyrotechnics and the embodiment of fire.
From Heliosphere.
Ah. So are you bringing all these No, I'm just...
I will blast this table straight into your face.
Please don't.
I've already covered this. I know
Noah
she's
takes
not
a
it.
step away from Ash.
I feel very comfortable in my belief that nobody here is to blame.
I find it highly unlikely.
Unlikely, but not impossible.
I never rule out possibilities, as small as the chance may be.
Well, I know Ash mentioned looking into the glass eye case a little bit more. Would that be something that you guys are interested in going out and checking out?
Sure.
All right, I will mark that down then, and we will get a team together for that. And how this is going to work out is this is opening the opportunity, and there will be one opportunity a month for this. It is up to you guys who you want to participate in this, and this is going to be a fourth hunt, quote unquote. It is going to be an investigation, and it will be shorter than the usual hunt. There will be less danger. Of course, if you take harm for some reason or another during this, it will transfer over into whatever hunt you are going to take, minus 1 or 2, depending on how long your hunt is from that investigation. And there will be a maximum of 2 people who are allowed to be on this hunt. So it is up to you guys how you want to put people onto this investigation team to go check this out. And this will be one of the more major ways for you guys to gain extra information about the overall mystery. And if you guys happen to stumble upon important key information, then it will open the opportunity for a major hunt or a major phenomena, which is going to be essentially the big story missions. Think like major assignments or urgent quests in Monster Hunter. So those are the key story beats. So investigations are sort of a way to help you guys reach that goal and solve the overarching thing. So
what would the name of this investigation be called?
Right now it is simply, the mission name is just investigation, and under description we will write
I imagine the details will change based on the players in it.
The origin of the glass eye.
Yes.
I think having a bruiser and somebody who is savvy with investigation would be the best course of action.
I think you're probably going to need someone who can talk.
That too.
Hey, that's me.
I can certainly defend, but I can't talk.
I mean, one of the suggestions I would have
I am
is
certainly very good at investigation.
if you're trying to talk to the sister that you mentioned of one of the victims, I would assume, I don't know, depending on how well things went with her last time, but would it be helpful to have someone there who has met her before? Or do you think fresh faces would get a better result out of her?
Depends. Looking at the report and based off of Wallace's blog, maybe anybody involved with the amount of damage that was done not being there would be ideal. But
He doesn't even know anything about the damage.
The sister is unaware. The sister lives in the suburb part town. She would be unaware of the details of the mission. However, that is not to say that we didn't interact with her. And admittedly, my conversation with her did not go so swimmingly. So I will sit out of this one.
Noah was extremely blunt with announcing the death of her brother.
Ah.
But I I offered her my own number in case she needed to call anybody for any reason.
But it does sound like it would be better not to have any of you three in case things need to go towards her.
If anybody is going to go of us three,
It would be
regarding
Ash.
her, yeah.
Let's send Ash then, and perhaps one other.
Willie, because he's better at talking.
Anybody who is savvy with people or savvy with information would be a good option, since Ash is sort of a
What
brute
it
force
do?
worker.
Brute force is a word.
I am savvy with information, but I don't know much about this individual.
Would anyone here consider themselves someone savvy with people, though? Or are we all just kind of loners?
Absolutely, but intelligence is admittedly not my strong suit.
I
would, but
Wallace just sighs.
I have no opinion on my social skills.
We all either
opinions on
have
my intelligence.
we all have either intelligence or charm, but none of us have both.
None.
I don't know, not none of it. Like
I have
for the
both.
most part. For the most part, it's most of us are just like we're either smart or social, not like good at both. For the most part.
Wallace, it might not be a terrible idea to send you that way anyways, even if your conversation with her may have ended somewhat poorly last time. It could be somewhat comforting to see one of the people who solved the problem in the first place.
Wallace kind of just rubs his temple in frustration. I guess I will go if nobody else here is willing nor confident in their own abilities as hunters to go speak to this person. I will accompany Ash once more.
Well, and I just jump up from that and feel like not comfortable in their hunting capability.
Part of being a hunter is also investigating.
I'm confident in my investigation
I
skills.
am
I'm not
very
confident in my
comfortable with my ability to speak with people.
Also, I'd like to say that I took great offense to the fact that Candace implied that I was not one of the people to help solve the problem.
Well, given your track record,
well, you were already on. You were already. Ash, you are already on the group. You are already a shoo-in for it.
Yeah.
I did not feel the need to mention you. Please calm down.
I will accompany Ash.
Gee, Wallace, have a lot of fun with that.
I already did.
With that figured
but I will
out,
do it again.
If you can bring anything physical back, that can be of use.
I will try my best.
We will.
Like what? What kind of physical thing would you need?
Something familiar to the organization or
Like
someone who may be related.
the corpse of the eye that we brought back?
I was gonna say we have a whole ass corpse.
And Ellie speaks up and is like, yes, I will already be looking into that, of course, and I will have more to say to you all on that subject at the end of this month, of course.
May I examine this body?
You already are.
Yes.
You signed up to
We're
do
already
research
going
on
to
it.
be helping with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know when I can make a move.
Aren't you researching that over the course of the month?
Yes, you're going to be researching that over the course of the month. That is part of your downtime activity.
Can I use a move for my downtime activity?
No.
Ah.
Downtime activity happens when you are not playing, essentially. That is how that works. You are overtime helping Ellie learn more about it and where it came from and so on and so forth. So by the end, you will have... well, I will keep your moves in mind for what information you guys end up getting. because it will be
okay.
quite a
That
bit.
works.
Yes, I'm not.
You
I know what I am doing.
you always have use Z.
Anywho's it's. I think that sort of wraps everything up here. I think that can be sort of meeting adjourned for now. We've been here for quite some time. I will see you all back. I mean, I would hope I would see a few of you over at the Festival of Remembrance. That should be tomorrow. Or, actually, and she looks at the clock and she's like, oh, actually, that is later tonight. I have sort of lost track of time and day. So I will see you all there later tonight, thanks to the Sharkbud team. That is all going smoothly. So, to any of you who will be attending, yes. And with that...
Shit. Hearing her mention that just made me realize something. Oh, I didn't actually plan on going to that, but I think all of us have to.
Have to.
No, I mean...
Not necessarily.
No,
I mean,
I'm not planning on going.
not necessarily.
And
but...
armed.
What?
Please
What?
Do you have something you're hiding from us, Mr. Sun?
No,
again?
I think somebody else is hiding something from me. Somebody mentioned it in passing to me, and I now don't trust that event. So I will be there.
Oh.
Do whatever you please.
I'm
Okay.
gonna be there anyway, so...
Well,
Wait,
you've
I
at
don't
least
know if that's necessarily a good thing.
you've at least piqued my interest.
Who mentioned something to
Sounds like
you
I
and
should be
what
there
did they
regardless.
say?
I don't know their name, their description, or anything. They told me to have fun there, and I don't trust them at all.
When was this told to you?
This morning.
In what context?
A dark, scary room.
That sounds about as suspicious as
How
it
did you
gets.
get there?
He has his reasons.
None of your business.
This is not a police interrogation, so.
Candace speaks
like
up.
this
We're all
is
going to be
important.
put in danger.
Candace
I
speaks
think
up
we have
above
a right to
everybody
know.
in a way that you haven't really heard her do before.
Mm-hmm.
Middle Tower, this is an urgent request. You are all required to be, with this new information, you are all required to be at the festival tonight. Be there, be ready. Hopefully nothing happens, but for in case something does, we need to be there and ready. I will tip off the police to be prepared for something, but I do not want to raise panic for in case this is a dead end. This is a very, very important festival for the city, and if something goes wrong during it, or if we are the reason that something goes wrong, then it isn't going to be good.
We're gonna be up shit creek without a paddle if that happens.
Exactly. So everybody be there and be ready. And with that, we are going to take a quick pause there. We will come back to that. Like I said, I will need everybody at the start of the session for... I will need everybody at the end of the session for a thing. We are going to do a smidgen of RP that went on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but that's fine. We got a lot of good talking points in, a lot of good information, and a lot of good RP. So, if there are any smaller RP segments that people would wish to do, now would be the time to sort of start ourselves off. There's two that I know that that you guys really wanted, and that was Ash and Mr. Sun came to me and talked about wanting to do something, and then the medical ward with Mr. Sun James, and Red. So let us.
think there was-
What?
I think there was even more people in that one, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
If you want to have.
Also,
more
there's a
people there.
gigantic
What
mosquito
it
in my room.
do?
So you're gonna have to give me a hot second to kill it.
I was gonna save the one for Ash and I for when we inevitably end up going on a mission at the same month. So
Okay.
I will be holding on that one.
However you
Aw,
guys.
man.
However you guys want to do that, I am fine with it. With that, let's do the medical ward one first, and then just think about any sort of stuff that you guys want to do outside of that, and if it's whether it's with NPCs, like for example Wallace's talk with, I guess that wouldn't really make sense for flashing forward, so we will
Sarah, or
yeah, with Sarah, since that would
Okay,
be
yeah,
this month's downtime activity.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's probably something I'd do before my hunt.
Yes. So we will save that for then. With that, let's start off with the medical ward people, and just keep in mind what RP stuff you guys might want to do. So
Is this?
I imagine this is back in time a little bit.
yes,
as well.
this is back in time. We are flashing back to stuff that may have happened in the last month or towards the end of the month for stuff. This is not, of course, the afternoon or evening of this day. So,
Quick question about that RP. Is it anybody who was in the medical ward?
I guess that's sort of up to you guys. Adding more people tends to make it a little bit less personal, so I don't know what you guys wanted to do with that. This sort of part of it is a little bit hands off for me, and it's scenarios that you guys, conversations that you guys want to have in character. So
Sure.
it is up to you guys how you guys want to do that.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted because there was a giant mosquito in my room and I had to murder it.
It's all good.
It is fine.
I succeeded.
Let's go.
So Mr.
Other
Sun
people?
spent a nice healthy amount of time in the med ward as the most injured person. from
Yes,
last
Correct.
series of
absolutely.
hunts. So I guess whoever else was also there a lot, or whoever was helping in the medical ward.
Yeah.
Steel was pretty dang hurt, but we could honestly just say that Steel was asleep during whatever happens.
Oh, okay.
Would the
Ignoring
people
that.
not in this go to like the waiting room, or is
Yes.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. People not in this jump over to the waiting room.
I think Steel
So-
ended at 5 harm. It may have
Yeah.
been 6.
You-
I wasn't keeping super good track,
Yeah.
but
So
You guys
probably
want
was
to
in and
hear
out
or
of the
no?
med bay quite a bit.
I mean, I think it would make sense to have you here since you were also quite
You were pretty-
injured. You were pretty fucking beat up at the end of your hunt, so
Mentally and physically.
So this
And
is
emotionally.
James, Sun, Red, Ash,
Yes.
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 taking notes.
Let us start off. This is going to be, as I said before, towards the end of the month. So, Mr. Sun, you by this point you have probably recovered. You are in a significantly better state than you were before, but still not great. If I had to put it into harm's terms, I would say you were probably sitting around like 3 or 4 harm still.
Okay.
And then of course James and Red, you are as fine as you were before. And then Ash, you are probably in a similar situation to Mr. Sun, because you have been in the ward for a shorter amount of time since you guys were the second hunt. So
I imagine that, like, while I was treating his wounds, I just, like, do things to remind him how stupid he is.
Yep.
It's like spraying an open wound.
Stop that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not a medic, but I'm pretty sure some of these things you're doing are intentionally not great.
It's a waste of resources too, Red.
Why ever give you that impression?
Too weak to fight.
How many
What?
times did you blow yourself up this time?
0. Well,
The report
half.
says otherwise.
Jackie looks up from
That's
his
new record.
Jackie looks up from some paperwork he is writing out on his desk in the corner and says, judging on your wounds, at least once.
Does your report say how many scars I have?
How many new ones?
Total. I'm trying to keep a tally going.
No,
Okay,
it
Katniss.
doesn't. We'll see how many end up scarring up after, well, you're fully healed.
Great. Looking forward to it. Thank you,
Why do
Doc.
you ask, Mr. Sun? About your scars, I mean.
In light of it, I try to find the humor in simple things like
He
that.
has a monthly quota.
I do have a monthly quota. Red's right. She knows well. I wanted to ask how your hunt went, though. Like, this was the more or less first time we've both worked separately,
And
and nobody
Well,
died.
I-
Everyone still has.
Well,
no one died. Yeah, and
I will indicate my head over to a sleeping steel in another bed.
I-
Well,
also I talked with some survivors and made sure they were all right.
Okay. Oh, good. I am, by the way, not surprised. Just to be clear, but I am happy that the mission went well. Clearly better than mine.
it was a bit touch and go for a bit, I won't lie.
Like shift
Well-
my eyes away.
What was it? Wait, huh? What was it anyway? We had a big weasel.
Ours was like a large carnivorous plant of sorts. It kept
Yeah,
getting
shark
bigger and
bud.
bigger too.
Oh
Right.
yeah, I already did a carnivorous plant. That was awful.
Piranha plant.
Ours seemed to
Right.
be able to traverse underground quite quickly as well, like some sort
Yeah.
of burrowing thing. It was.
Yeah, they do that.
Ugh.
Why do you guys always get the giant things that you can physically fight?
I mean, my
I
first
don't know
fight
if you
was a
wanted to
phantom.
physically fight it.
My first fight was literally some sort of phantom spirit ghost, so
What?
there wasn't a lot of physical fighting going on there.
What was yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
An elusive, never before seen spider murderer eyeball that murdered my friend.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
condolences. I'm interested to read that report as soon as they allow me to get back to work. Red, can I get the reports? Thanks.
Just rest for a bit.
Listen, I'll put the reports really neatly on your desk for you to get them.
Nice. I imagine. Oh, when I can get them. I see. I see what. Okay. Very clever.
A quick out of game thing. Keeper.
Yeah.
So this is at the end of the month. So if I had leveled up at the end of the hunt, I could use any new move that I possibly acquired.
Yes, Miles.
Fantastic.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'm buffer. I'll have you know. Watch yourself, buddy.
yeah, I like the same. I did not level up at all.
For some reason, while Mr. Sun has been laying in this bed in this medical center, he looks a little bit more toned.
Muscles
Listen,
torn and
that's what
broken
happens
and grow back
when you-
stronger. It's true.
Listen, yeah, when you get smacked in the stomach that much, like it'll just grow back stronger.
Yep. My
See?
bones are stronger.
He now, for
Your
some reason,
bones.
has a six-pack.
And muscle. Huh? Yeah.
Like, some of these scars are really old. You have so many.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did those happen?
Well, these 3 on my face should be pretty familiar.
I wasn't
Red.
asking you.
Oh.
Not everything is about you, Mr. Sun.
All right, I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me up when I can go back to work.
Are you talking about the ones on my arms?
Yeah.
It's a side effect of the way that I control mana.
Side effects.
Yeah, it's been this way since I learned how to do it. My body doesn't really process it the same way. So I get these really bad burns from the sheer force of the blast. But it hasn't happened for a long time because it's basically calloused now and I've gotten better control of it. So
It's true. It's a good thing you have those gloves of yours, or else you probably have lost your hands by now.
I almost did before I came to Lacrimosa. There's an accident.
How old are you?
I'm 18. I came here when I was 15.
Oh.
18. Hunting monsters.
Yeah.
Having
Candace.
your
Yeah.
friends die. Shouldn't you be at school or something?
I am in school.
For
Shouldn't-
now.
Probably
Okay,
won't be for
teacher.
long with everything that keeps happening.
Yeah.
I only
School's
have one
important.
teacher on my side right now.
School's
Hmm.
important. I think you should do everything you can to further your education.
I'm trying.
It's not only that, but even I had a relatively normal adolescence. I didn't start monster hunting until I was in my 20s.
Nothing about my adolescence is normal.
Hey, same
This-
here.
It's been this way since
Well,
I was using mana before I got these gloves. That's another reason why my arms are scarred so bad. And nothing about my adolescence was normal. I've been through a lot worse.
well,
I mean, could be way worse too. I could not have a medical ward.
I'd just be dead.
Could just be being chewed out by Professor Stein right now and being possibly suspended from school for blowing up to a dorm and a half trying to save a bunch of people.
Well,
I'm
did you really blow up a dorm in half, or did you save the entirety of the rest of the building?
The report says both.
Yeah.
You can do
James
one.
is right on that one. I will say though, Ash, with me, Candace, Ellie, and Sarah all being Lacrimosa University graduates, we have pulled strings, and there has been somewhat of an understanding of the situation. Now, we have sort of gotten your... We've gotten your sentence, so to speak, talked down from some sort of suspension to simply a probational period with the understanding that you were saving the hundreds that were in that dorm. So, with that, you will be fine. Do not worry.
God, saving hundreds of lives and you're still getting punished?
It's
Yeah,
still
that's
excellent
just-
news.
What do you think happened last month? A bridge blew up because I couldn't stop people from walking on it.
And
And
I mean, I'm sure that stopped
I
people
didn't
from
know that.
walking on.
well, the reason it was triggered is because I wasn't able to keep them from stepping onto the bridge and triggering a bunch of grenades from going off. So I took some of the force of the blast and kept those 4 people from being blown to pieces.
Quick look at Mr. Sun.
No, it's a viable strategy. People wouldn't leave a park, so I started blowing it up. They left the park.
Yeah, but the park, you can make an excuse for having holes in the park. You can't make excuses for a regularly trafficked bridge being blown up by lanterns,
Jackie,
especially since there was an invisible imp doing it.
Jackie looks up, finally, looks up from his paperwork and looks away from it and points the butt end of his pen over at Ash and says, "Look, Ash, the most important thing, and this is what we, the staff here, and the staff at the school believe, is that if you get a better control and understanding of your magic, we can sort of counteract these problems that you've been having. That is why we were able to talk your sentence down from suspension, or even there were talks of expulsion that we shot down immediately, because you need to be able to control this and you cannot learn if you are not there. Focus on your studies. Don't be too hard on yourself. And get better. It's a necessity. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you obviously have some very incredible daughter-given talent. Be a real shame to see it go to waste.
It's true.
My,
Who knows?
my
Maybe
and-
someday. Oh, yeah, you can go.
so I was just gonna say my initial argument wasn't so much that you need to hone on your ability to be able to better hunt and kill monsters. You need to sometimes just stop doing even that. Go hang out with friends. Go to a movie. Go get a cup of coffee. I don't know what kids do these days, but just turn off work mode. You are far too young to be worrying about these sorts of things all the time.
Amy. Or no, Ash.
Got him.
Yeah, what's up? This is Amy, the planer, kicking down the medical ward door. Hey, how's it going?
all right, back in character.
Well, I mean, maybe one day we could get some of the scars cleaned up. You know, make your hands actually really pleasant to look at. Could be a possibility.
I suppose.
Your hands look fine. Don't worry about it.
Have you ever painted your nails?
I've never painted my own. I've painted M's. You want to laugh again?
Sorry, it's just yeah. I just didn't imagine that you actually did fun things like that. It's a pleasant surprise.
No fighting in the medical ward, please.
I'm
second
too hurt.
that.
But yeah, no, I don't have a lot of friends. I have M. I have Z. I annoy the crap out of Little Willie. I have maybe one or two acquaintances at school.
In here. I mean, mine is the school. I don't have a school, but I don't really know anybody. So, you want someone to talk to, I'll be here.
Most of the school population doesn't like me because of my situation and the way that I I'm able to get away with certain things. It doesn't really help your reputation when you blow up 2 people's dorm rooms.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be the case.
And also bully shove somebody so that they didn't get their leg broken by being yanked 60 feet into the air up the side of a building.
Well, from all that I've heard, you did the right thing. So don't be hard on yourself. But also, yeah.
I'll try.
Well, neither of you really have friends, so maybe you should both go out for coffee or something sometime. Again, I don't know what kids do these days. I want coffee though.
I do too.
Of
Jack,
course,
Noah
coffee is the
gave
best thing.
Noah gave me his coffee the morning of the hunt. That was nice. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Haven't really done anything with a few members of Middle Tower yet. I know.
I dealt with 3 people of Middle Tower, one of which is my best friend. The other one I have interacted with twice on 2 hunts, and then the last one does not like rambunctious teenagers.
Would that be Wallace?
That's Wallace.
Yes.
That sounds like Wallace. It's okay. He doesn't like seasoned veterans either. I don't
He
think
doesn't
Wallace.
like anybody except for like maybe Steel.
That's
And I mean,
yeah.
no, he was pretty cool with Noah too.
Nobody, yeah.
he's fine. I will say, James and Ash, since I have you both here, it would be nice if we could go on a hunt sometime. Prioritize it. I'd like to get to know both of you a little better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Just please be careful with your grenades.
You have
He won't be.
you have no right to.
That's why I'm saying be careful with your grenades. I'm already a walking grenade. What is your point?
Look, I don't hurt other people. If I hurt
He tries
myself,
not to hurt other people.
that's fine. I'll get over it.
You sound too much like me.
You
You're like
say
you're
a
lecturing
little-
me, and then you sound exactly like me.
I have created a small hole in a public park. Now, I have before in my early career when it was all about explosions and looking good and casual encounters. You know, I might have been a little more destructive, but
In the last 2 months, you've blown yourself up twice. You are quite self-destructive. If
myself.
yes,
Okay,
At least it's not M who accidentally blew me up. Okay.
it should be mentioned that only one of those was intentional.
Son, I
Okay.
absolutely don't want to tell you how to live your life. I heard you say you don't want to hurt others. Sometimes you might hurt yourself. You're not the young gun you used to be, bud.
No. Yeah, I'm
You damn near killed yourself this month.
dreadfully what part of that was M as well. That should also really be noted.
I am back.
This is what really I'm here because magicians are untrustworthy with their
How
craft.
about?
And magicians is what brought you back from the brink of death. Please don't talk that way.
All right, fair enough.
Especially do not talk anything about M in front of me.
You
M
like
is trying their best.
All right, your friend lich touched me when I was about to die. You probably don't know what a lich is, but I don't
I do.
either. But
I
it's,
have a good idea. What you mean?
magic
But
is
the thing
volatile.
I know magic's volatile.
I don't trust it. I don't want it anywhere near me.
You're literally in a room with 3
Full of
different magic
magicians.
users.
Yeah, I am
What are you
painfully
talking-
aware.
make that 4. And
Oh god. But none
I'll
of
never
you are
forget about you,
doing magic
Jackie.
right now.
But
This is good old fashioned gauze and stitches on me right now. Right?
Well, that
Wait,
answers
Speaking of
Jackie.
which, speaking of which,
Oh god.
Yes, we should probably
You need
be
some more
changing
stitch
some of
work
these
there.
out as well.
Yeah.
I'll go over to Sun and
You
start
got this
changing his. if
one
you do.
big gaping open wound on your face.
Yep, no, I'll
I
just
wait. Is it near your left eye? Because I have a gaping wound on my face near my left eye. That spider
I'd say it's more like
really tried to take
in
me
between
over.
the nose and the chin.
Mine is like right below my left eye because that spider definitely tried to take over like every single person on my hunt. Like,
Ash, Red's talking about my mouth. She's trying to sew it shut, so I'm gonna shut up and take a nap.
Let me change your gauze before you do.
All right. You instead of Red. Not because I don't trust her, but
No, it's fine.
because
it's
I don't
fine.
trust her right now.
No, it's fine. I
Smiling while
understand
holding
how
up
you
the
view
needle.
those who use magic. It answers the question I was going to ask you anyway.
Am I the only one who doesn't know how to use magic?
No, I was wondering if,
I mean, besides the person that's asleep.
you know, you were
Yes.
willing to be the subject of something that I've never done before that might get you back up to looking at your reports sooner. But, you know, if you don't want any magic about you, that's fine.
Oh,
That's,
hold on. I didn't say that.
I mean,
There's small sacrifices need to be made for the line of duty.
On with the paperwork.
Hey,
Paperwork is
Hey-
incredibly important.
hey, Red. We're ever both on a hunt with Mr. Sun. Do you want to mess with him with magic as much as possible?
No.
Damn it.
I have a gun.
You have a gun. Okay. Want to know who else has a gun? Literally everybody else in this tower. I am a gun. What do you mean?
Who gave this child a gun?
I am the gun. What do you mean?
James, would you like to do your thing?
I was going to say, Son, you should probably get a little rest right now. We'll see if we can't do it a little later. But
Grumble, paperwork.
nothing against the others in the room, but it's a sore magic for me to exercise. That sounds odd when I say it out loud.
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I can leave the room if you want.
Do I have to take my clothes off?
I'm.
Like, please, no, I'm stuck in here for the next 2 days.
You know what? Forget I said any.
Red can leave. I can't.
Well, you two seem to have everything sorted out. I'll leave it to you.
Red, don't leave me.
Okay. James, do we want to at some point? Do we want to go over you using that? And,
yeah,
okay.
I wanted to do it at a point where nobody else was around.
Okay, and you want Mr. Sun to be sleeping for it as well, essentially.
He can be awake. It's
Okay.
fine.
Let's say this is a few days after then, and Ash has been discharged. So Ash is not in the room. So Ash and Red, you are free to jump down to the waiting room for now.
But there's one thing. I do want a small time with Mr. Sun later.
Yes.
Like after this.
We can do that after he's
very tiny.
gone through
And-
this.
Okay.
Yes.
And I know that I also have a thing with Mr. Sun that we may do later, but I can also just wait till the hunt.
From the sounds
Anyway,
of it,
bye.
that thing was going to wait until
a hunt.
Yeah.
We did cover a lot of what I wanted to cover during this roleplay session. I do want to also mention.
Okay.
Okay. Fair.
Alrighty. So you set the scene for me, since I haven't looked too far into which one you
It's
actually picked. So you set the scene for me.
It's probably only a day or two later, but because of Sun's injuries, he's had to probably stay over in the medical bay quite a bit.
Yes.
He's probably staying over there overnights and stuff like that, which probably leads to some lonely nights, but you are probably awoken late one night to just James kind of standing over your bed. Hey, wake up. I said I was going to fix you.
Yep. This is good morning.
It's like 10 p.m.
Sure.
I know you've been sleeping a lot. You should.
Yeah. Are there windows in here?
Not really. That one's fake anyway.
All right. So magic. You're gonna do it on me.
You really want to get back to your reports that much?
It's the most important part of the job. Got to be
More
prepared
important
for
than
the
your
end
life.
of the month.
Really?
Well, reports save other people's lives, which I have kind of signed my life up for that cause. At least these reports save other people. What about your reports?
Just so I know, where is like the worst of your injuries probably from con?
Oh man. Like kind of like rolls up his shirt. He has the big gash on his back from when the ice weasel got him when he was running. I think that was like 2 damage or something like that.
Yeah,
he
it
took
was
2
like a
damage.
2
from
harm
it.
attack.
Pretty rough, yeah. All right.
And then he took 1 from his own grenade. He took 1 from James, and he took 1 from Ice. Or not James,
Right.
sorry. He took 1 from M.
All right. Roll over.
Okay.
I will go over and I will grab whatever equivalent of numbing agent we have.
Oh God.
This is going to hurt a lot.
Right.
There's not anything I can do about this. I can numb the area, and it will still be exceptionally painful for you. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
You're obviously okay with scars.
Yep.
God.
Just skin. Am I gonna have to roll a cool check to not lose my shit?
We'll see. And you see James just kind of take a minute and just kind of like psych himself up.
You've never done this before, have you?
I have never done this on someone else, but it has been done on me.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Basically, this might sting him.
Get it over with.
It's a mixed success,
Oh.
which is fine. You use magic to heal 3 harm, but the process is exceptionally painful. It also leaves a gnarly scar.
Lamau.
And I will link that.
Plus side, I'm at full HP.
Or at least
TM.
probably close to it.
I will with this, I will let you start your next hunt with 1 less harm than I was going to have you start.
Yeah.
So I will let you off with 1 instead of 2.
Okay. But there's a big hideous scar on his back now.
So you feel your shoulder feel like it is pulled apart into the sum of its parts and then put back together like a Lego set.
Ah, that's terrible.
Yeah. It's not good.
Good thing this is late and middle tower is empty, because it definitely sounds like he is being tortured.
That's why I have you roll on your back so you can't see it happen.
Okay.
Not. But bright side, it looks good from back here. And it's gonna scar something fierce, but this part of your back is good to go for now.
It's fine. I do feel a lot better, other than the psychological damage of whatever the hell just happened to me that I cannot describe.
You can roll back over. You should probably get some rest.
Yeah.
You'll see James looks like kind of winded and is probably sweating a little bit even.
He like rolls over. He has his gun in hand. Like he grabbed it from under his pillow when he initially thought you were trying to kill him.
Hands in the air.
No, sorry.
Hey,
Just
man.
reflex of I thought I was being murdered. He puts it back under the pillow.
Magic isn't always bad. I know you've been in the game a long time. I mean, I've got quite a few years under my belt as well. Sometimes the magic is just... it needs some help. And sometimes that's why we're here.
Magic, to me, feels like a concept that humans stole from things that go bump in the night and tried to learn it their own way. And I think sometimes that's okay, but most times, even the most skilled can mess up.
It's true.
And the repercussions of that are really very damning.
It can be dire. I understand where your stance comes from. But
I'm just saying, I don't blame people for shooting people. No, wait. I do blame the people for shooting people. But guns take a large responsibility in that. And magic is just as dangerous. And it is far too in the open for people to use.
Well, that's why you'll mainly see me use my magic to counteract some of that.
You know what? That's a type of magic I can actually respect.
Healing has always been a forte for me, whether magical nor non-magical. That's why I spend my days here. And it always hasn't been that way. I had to start from somewhere. I hope I can help possibly change your worldview. It's not all bad.
Well, James, this has been a good start, and I hope when we do go on this hunt together soon, I will try to keep an open mind and watch how you use your magic. But this is a very good start. If it's okay with you, I'm going to try to go to sleep and hopefully do so quick enough to forget about that horrible sensation I just had.
Hey, one more thing.
Hmm.
Maybe don't go spreading the word about that. It's not exactly something I want to be doing a lot.
Oh, a secret? Don't have to worry about me telling those.
I don't believe that.
Have a good night, James.
Cool. And with that, let's swap out James for Red real quick, so you guys can run your
All right.
brief thing.
I'll go grab him. Good luck with your extra harm. You can deal. Take
Yeah, I don't put myself in unstable with one grenade now. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I only had to take an entire level up move to do it. Let's go. All right, I'll go grab Red for you.
It's actually really funny. I can now blow myself up with no repercussions. Well,
I swear to God.
except for blowing myself up.
Blow yourself out.
Hi.
So yet again, I don't really know what you guys had in mind, so
No,
feel free
it's just a really quick thing. Don't
Okay.
worry. Largely probably gonna be at the dead of night when Jackie's already gone.
Not this again. Continue.
Okay.
So I move in silently to the medical ward and like nudge Mr. Sun to get awake.
James, you again? What? Oh, Brett.
And
Hi.
very sternly to say, keep watch over me more this month. I can feel it again.
Okay. You got it.
And then I turn to move away and just go back the way I came.
This is somehow worse than last night. I gotta get out of this medical ward.
That's all. Now I'm curious on what happened with Mr. Sun. Anyway.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Red.
Yeah, that's all.
Yoink everybody back up. Oh no, we go up there now?
Yeah, need to figure out. I will jump down and I will figure out who all else wants to do stuff, and if nobody else, then we will.
There's also going to be at some point TM where I'm going to disclose more information to Candace and her team, but that's here nor there.
Yes.
But...
We can decide on that later. That will not be for now.
Hello.
Yeah.
Friends and familia. Is there anybody else who would like to run something? I would like to.
I mean, I messaged you something a bit ago about wanting to do that, but I don't know if that's something like would be done.
Oh. Oh.
It was like it's saying it was the way I wanted to research something, and you said it was something that could be done during RP sessions, or for now, and especially with the revelations that came up today, I especially think would try to do this if possible before the going to the festival later.
Sure. And you can decide if that's going to be day of or before that group meeting happened. We can run that. And I just want to know if anybody else is wanting to do stuff, because we have about...
Yes.
Okay. Yes, for sure, with Lil Willie too. And is there anybody else you would like to be there for that?
Lil Willy.
Oh, you're asking me? Oh
Yes.
yeah. No, it's okay. And just talking to Ellie basically shouldn't only take 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Is this about the skateboard stuff? I guess
Yes.
that would make
I mean,
sense for you guys
it's
to...
got narrative and mechanical things, so that's why I'm just kind of and character development things, so I'm just kind of,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It'll be quick.
We can run that. We can run M's thing.
Oh.
And what were you going to say, Amy?
Mr. or Professor Stein, I was hanging out with him to build relations last month, and I also have a upgrade improvement thing that I want to run with him, especially after I property damage.
Okay.
Anyway.
We will run the just due to time constraints, we will run that. Oh, it's gonna be hard. We will figure out a time to run some more stuff with Mr. Star. Actually, let's since that shouldn't be too long, but I want to spend a little bit more time with M's thing than we have. We will run.
You can also you can do that pre-RP for the upcoming hunt if you want, because I get home late. You can do that before.
Oh, yeah. It's true. Oh, that's true. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
We can do that then. So we will run. We will
hunt
run.
one. We'll have to start a little late. Then.
Yeah. Let's run.
I get
Little
home
Willy.
like around 7:30.
Let's run Little Willy first, and then if we have time, we'll run M. But I don't want to cut. I want to spend a little bit of time on that segment, and I don't want to have to cut it short. So if we end up not having time for it, we will simply put it off for now, because that would be something fairly important.
Oh yeah, I would honestly prefer, like, if the whole time can be spent on it compared to like rushing it, it would be better. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So let's run Little Willy, and then we will get to what I have planned for the end of this session.
Sounds good.
So, I would assume this is pretty soon after your guys' hunt that you end up heading over to Ellie.
Yeah, I mean, Lil Willy didn't take any harm in the hunt, so it'll definitely be a day of, if assuming, you know what I mean, ASAP. According to Ellie's schedule.
Next morning, since Ellie wouldn't have been there by the time you guys got there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So basically.
So Ellie is still working on you guys were the third hunt. So
Correct.
Ellie is working on a prototype currently, a working prototype of the spore canister. And as you head down to open the door and open it, you see a quick explosion of these little, like, fungus spores explode across the room, and Ellie is sitting there coughing and, like, waving her hand in front of her face. And,
whoa! Are you okay?
Yeah, this is something I'm working on.
I mean, I'm just kind of Lily's just peeking his head in the room, just trying not to enter it. Like, is it safe to enter? I don't like things in my lungs.
Let me come out instead of you come in. And you see her walk over to one of the walls and flip a switch, and the ventilation for the room turns on and starts slowly zucking out some of the spores. And she walks with you and takes a step upstairs.
Yeah. She, is looking at Lil Willie when she's meeting him outside the room, and he's here holding his two halves of his hoverboard, rest in peace, in his hands. Says, so I've got a favor to ask there, Ellie.
Oh, that's tragic.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a little heartbreaking, but I literally I do this professionally, so like I can fix it. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here. Anyway, I need. Well, here's the problem here. Let me level with you real quick. I don't want this to happen again. I mean, go figure. My favorite board, my only board, breaking. So here's the issue. Yeah, I hoverboard. Yeah, I would call myself a pro skater, pro boarder, hoverboarder, no doubt.
Okay.
But here's the problem. Well, here's the solution. Here's the problem to the solution. I don't have a weapon. So my hoverboard is kind of my weapon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so you don't want it snapping on you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. I want to mechanically, real quick, I want to bring up your character sheet, because I want to
mechanically how it works is according to my playbook, I have a means of transportation and a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And the weapon and the mundane weapon is the transportation and the weapon is the same.
Yeah, you've sort of slapped them into the same thing, which...
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this. So how the adjusting tags works is, essentially I will let you sort of, as evenly as we possibly can, sort of add in stuff and remove stuff to make things work. Right. So on top of repairing it, we will also make it better. So
right, more thematically appropriate.
Yeah, you're definitely looking for a tag like, I guess, durable, something that can't break.
Right.
Which would be significantly better. So to do that, we would have to think of some sort of drawback to go with that, if that makes sense, to sort of adjust that. So I don't want to
we don't need to talk about mechanical things on the
I don't want to completely take this away from you, so we can talk later. I would rather it be sooner rather than later about what you want that to look like, whether that is maybe it deals one less harm, or maybe it has the innocuous tag, so maybe it is...
Well, that's the thing. Mundane weapons are kind of booty,
Mm-hmm.
so it already has innocuous and messy tags.
Yeah. Well, innocuous is... if this is... Hold on. This is what I'm...
Isn't that just like, it's obvious, basically?
Well, I think it's
visibly prominent.
I think it's the opposite.
Oh.
Innocuous is like... It isn't suspicious. It's not harmful or offensive. It is, you're not walking around with like a gun or something. Somebody isn't going to look in your skateboard and go, holy shit. Like, they're going to go kill something with that. They're going to look at your baseball bat or golf club or cricket bat and go, oh, they're going to go play baseball. So
Right.
I think it would be pretty fair to say, like, in exchange for making it more durable, it sort of loses that sporty, normal hoverboard look, and it more properly doubles as a weapon for you. I would say that would be a pretty reasonable exchange. Is instead of innocuous, it is durable.
Right.
That way we can keep the same harm and stuff like that. All of like the range of it makes sense because it's
the range makes sense. The messy
makes
just,
sense because
it's the downside that makes sense.
Yeah. So I would say trading out it being sort of secretive for it being durable is a reasonable exchange. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other thing to take away from there other than harm, which
I don't want to take from you.
I don't want to do either. I mean, I already have a one harm weapon. It's a multi-tool. So yeah, I'm chill with that. Yeah.
Cool. And that flavor-wise sort of makes sense. And you can sort of decide how it looks at the end of the month because it will take a sort of month to make this full upgrade. With that, I'm pretty sure it says in the thing that you will not have access to this weapon during this. So.
Yeah, so I won't have it tonight or the next hunt.
Yes. But after that, you will have your adjusted, sort of upgraded, or lateral upgraded skateboard. So, cool. And then you shouldn't have to worry about it breaking again.
Great.
Unless there are unforeseen circumstances which would cause it to break, but it would take a lot for something like that to happen.
Right.
So that's sort of the idea of
this. I do have, and this isn't something we need to do today, it's just because I have your ear. Do want to talk to you after sometime and then before the next thing.
Okay.
But that's a purely mechanical, essentially-ish thing. So that's all I need.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
So Ellie finishes sort of explaining to you the upsides and downsides of all of this, like actually in character. It's like, well, if you want it to be, I have the materials, and of course you can help me with that. I have everything that you may need for that. But more durability is going to come at the cost of it looking as sick and gnarly as it did before.
Yeah. Well, I'll take your help because, like I said, I can break them and I can fix them, but I cannot, upgrade them, improve them.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Yeah, I'll be around. I'll be around to help you out with that. Yeah. Well, I'll be around to have you help me out. I mean, I'm not gonna, go off my rocker here, but I imagine I'm already a little bit ahead of the competition here in, knowledge of the workings of the mana technology. Techno mana tech.
Yeah, your family or some family of yours runs a Manatech shop, right?
Yeah, over down in Ferry Hook, which I reckon is quite a large place, but it's off of Street. Yeah.
Street, huh?
Street. Well, it's an M, but I like to call it
Oh, makes sense.
At Street.
Well, cool. We can get on this then, and any other questions or anything?
Not one that the kids are able to hear. I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. No, that's all I need. Thank you, Ellie. No, don't worry. Hey, don't tell Candace I said that.
Ellie's just sort of blinks for a second and is like, okay. Alrighty. Cool. And she's sort of like, do you hand over the two pieces of skateboard, or are you holding on to them, or?
Well, Ellie, if you're helping me and I'm not helping you with it, then I suppose I'll just be back you know. Or we could just get to work right now. Whatever works for you.
We'll revisit this shortly. For now, I sort of have a deadline with these prototypes to get them ready for the big
All right. Well,
the big session. So
I'll leave it here with you. That way you can take some measurements, as long as you promise not to do any work on it unless I'm here with you. That way, that way I can learn.
yeah, of course.
Maybe help you out with some other people's projects in the future. You never know.
Yeah, of
More
course.
hands make less work.
Absolutely. I will take a look into it and see what I can do, and I will call you up when I need you.
Thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, of course. And she heads back down into her now ventilated workshop, and you almost immediately hear the canister go off again.
Classic. What would we do without her?
Cool. And with
All right.
that,
Who would you like?
I would like everybody,
Okay.
everyone come.
Go! Somebody move Kyrie!
Kyrie, no.
Go!
Is Kyrie AFK?
I don't think so.
Uh,
She was
Should
showing
be
us.
story or
playing a
something.
video.
Oh.
She was showing us some of her Maple Story montages. I don't know if she left.
I see. Okay.
Let me.
Well, to give her a quick second to come up here, I need to use the bathroom real quick, and then we will jump right into things. So,
My streamer's being.
Mr.
Yeah,
Reese,
she stopped.
My streamer's being.
My streamer's being. Here, everyone's spamming in chat.
Kyrie has
There we
joined us.
I return. Let me jump back over.
I get them very infrequently.
Hello.
My streamer is no longer peeing.
I am no longer peeing. I have relieved myself.
Or that's what they'd want us to think.
Secretly on the toilet.
Bathroom
Okay.
stream.
My DM is streaming from the bathroom.
Okay. Let me set a scene for you all. It is, of course, the day of the festival. It is a few hours later, I would say. I don't know how long. Probably about 8 hours ish later. It's been some time. The festival itself didn't start until more of the evening. If I was putting it into game terms, it would be around late shadows, early dusk, question mark? Sunset. There we go. So in actual time, probably around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, is when the festivities sort of start to pop off. And to describe it, it all takes place on the docks of Timber Hill Park and spreads along the waterfront all the way up towards Wide Docks. There are several booths out with little games to play, with little shops. People have even come in from the slums areas who are allowed and have shown like certain good behavior and are let in on good graces. And there are many festivities afoot. If I had a single happy song in my playlist, I would be playing happy music right now, but I did not have the foresight to add one. So
Unfortunate.
immediately, there doesn't seem to be any issues. I would like to sort of go down the line here and ask what you guys would be doing while at the festival, and we will start that with M. And if you would be traveling along with somebody else, of course, we will add them into that. So M.
Definitely because M did not plan on coming to this and is only here because we were told we had to be from Candace. Ash is just dragging M anywhere, like the places. I don't think Amy is against that idea.
I am not. I feel
Yeah,
like
if you just
I feel like
if you
Ash
just
would be dragging both Z and M
yeah,
if Kinder would allow.
yeah, like I'm definitely
gonna say that Z would be either on a roof or being dragged around by Ash.
so Ash is dragging two people around with her. Good to know.
Exactly
There are
what I
these
was
super
gonna say.
cool like booths and yo, that guy's food. He makes the
Goldfish
best
scooping?
pastries. Goldfish?
Goldfish
Goldfish
scooping?
Goldfish scooping.
Yes.
James, what would you be doing?
Probably just have my gear on me and just kind of be wandering through the middle of the area, trying to keep centralized and keep eye out for anything that could go wrong.
James, you're with me.
Okay. It has been decided.
The boys must stick together.
I don't think
The
I could
boys
rid myself
ride.
of Lil Willie if I tried, so that is what's happening.
The boys ride.
The boys are back in town.
Tonight
They're riding on.
we ride.
They're riding on his repaired hoverboard.
I don't think that's for two people.
Well, we
It
could
is
we
now.
could ride pretty close on it if you'd like. I'll even let you be the big spoon.
Super pass.
Go
So
watch
much
Skate
pass.
the Infinite, perverts.
Go watch Skate the Infinite.
That's a good show.
It's a good show.
All right, Wallace, what would you be doing at the festival?
I imagine one of two scenarios. If Wallace is alone, he is probably just sitting at like one of those like food booths that has a table, just drinking like a cup of tea or something, if that is something that is available, like just to sit there, relax, and like stay away from people and keep an eye out for anything. The other scenario is kind of like a similar deal where he's either sitting down or he's walking around with like Noah, just to sort of keep an eye on things, away from people as well. In both scenarios, just kind of away from the general crowd.
Okay, and with that, I would say Noah. What would I will skip over to Noah then and ask you what would you be doing?
Noah's also keeping an eye on things and kind of finding a good finding a good spot to have a good perch, not really perch, but like a good spot in the festival to get the most line of sight on the most amount of things. Because we are expecting something to go wrong.
I think if that's the case, then Wallace is probably with him for the just to keep an eye out.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, I'm casing the joint.
Yeah. Makes sense. Let's jump back up to Enlil. What are you doing during this festival?
Walking around the perimeter and just waiting for something to happen.
Makes sense. Mr. Sun.
Before going there, I'm gonna ask if the Lacrimosa Tower people need a ride there. That way they can also know where an armored vehicle is in case they need to get away quick. And if so, I'm going to drive them there and join with the patrol and making sure everything is a-okay. But the one odd part is he's wearing casual wear because this is after office hours. He is not on the clock.
What is this
What's he
casual
wearing?
wear
What's he
look
wearing?
like?
What's he wearing?
I'm looking.
He is wearing a band tee that none of you would know because you're all too young.
Hey,
And a
Okay, old man.
like a faded black
pretty
leather
sure I'm older
coat
than you.
that is probably also about a decade. And his shirt is tucked into his pants, which is just like jeans and a belt and still like boots, black boots.
I'm
It's a
looking
Nirvana t-shirt.
disrespectfully. I am looking disrespectfully.
Yeah,
I'm
he
sorry.
dresses like a dad going to a Metallica concert. There's nothing
See,
surprising.
like,
God bless.
he
It's a
dresses like
Nirvana
kind of the
t-shirt.
old. You know, he dresses like some kind of older, but like middle-aged biker who just walked out of like a drive-in movie theater on his like motorcycle, his Harley Davidson.
Yeah, he looks like. Oh, his coat does have like patches on his sleeve and stuff on his back.
I am looking disrespectfully.
Okay, let's jump over to Red. What are you doing during the festival?
I probably came in with the truck with Mr. Sun. And then I will look for a well-lit area and then lay on a bench there and then close my eyes and just try not to think of anything.
Makes sense. We have already touched on Ash and Z, and I believe Little Willie, unless any of you wanted to add anything to what you had said before. Been sort of dragged into. Or dragged somebody else into, for that matter.
Ash is pointing out every single Lacrimosa hunter that they find or that they run across. Hey, look, Mr. Sun. Oh my god. Guys, look.
Yes, a scavenger hunt paper in her hands.
He's not in his suit, guys.
With
These eyes twitching and trying not to roll their eyes.
Candace is also taking is taking a similar approach to what Wallace was doing and found a comfortable spot, also in casual wear, and is simply waiting and watching, partially enjoying seeing the occasional hunter enjoying themselves, and also looking for any signs of danger. Jackie is just off the premises. I would say actually is with Mr. Sun's armored vehicle, and in the back has stored some medical supplies for in case. Ellie is nearby with an assortment of prototypes to test out in case of an emergency. And Sarah has joined her sister, or can be seen joining her sister, sitting down with a nice warm cup of hot chocolate. Everything is very nice. Everything is very serene. About 2 hours into the festival, it nears the height of it, where there is supposed to be a announcement from an announcement and a performance from one of the agencies in the guild. They are relatively new and not too much is known about them, but they are known as the Shakers. And who all, just sort of quick show of hands, would go to some sort of thing like this? I want to know who would be there and present in character.
I am.
Present for
Almost
what
a-
again?
For
Seems I am too.
a sort of speech and performing group, some sort of like
Absolutely not.
music show, essentially.
Absolutely not.
Ash.
Ash,
is going,
and by
the
proxy, I would assume that Z and M are there,
Yeah.
against their own volition.
Yep.
Well, Candace and Sarah hang out, so they're covered. Mr. Sun's gonna go over to Red and kind of like tap whatever bench he's taking a nap on with his foot. Hey, wake up! We got something to do.
I'm not sleeping.
Well, you look like it, and normally I'm the buzzkill, so follow me.
Okay.
And without telling her where we're going, I bring her to that. Because what could go wrong?
Little Willie and James, do the both of you end up there?
Bet your ass. That's a yeah.
James, seemingly against his own volition, just as Z and M.
Go with him. He's gonna kill himself.
I
or
mean,
somebody else,
what?
probably.
Hey, if you don't come with me, I'll just, conveniently forget to protect you when we, whatever we're, in danger.
Fine.
And that leaves Enlil and Noah. Do the two of you sort of gravitate towards this? It is, like I said, it is about 2 hours into the festival. It's been some time.
And I assume it's been relatively quiet for that 2 hours as far as activity.
Yes.
All right. Noah would probably gravitate towards the thing, but would not engage in it. Probably stand on the outskirts.
Okay. And Enlil?
Still keeping the perimeter of the whole festival.
Okay.
Basically not attending this thing.
The Shakers start to play, and you see One of them with a Manatech bass guitar, one of them with a Manatech guitar. There is a large drum kit in the back, and there is a singer in the front with a it looks like a megaphone, and it is essentially the microphone. It is a microphone all-in-one kit, like sound kit, and they are currently vocalizing through it. Show is going great. Their second song in their set starts to die down, and they have somebody come on stage to make a special announcement, as they have prefaced beforehand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this person standing on the stage before you is a tall, I would say about 6'1", 6'2" woman with short black hair, sort of in a bob cut, and glasses. And she takes the microphone and speaks over the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming on this wonderful night. As we know, this festival means a lot to all of us, and it has since we started it, to remember the goddess who saved this city. Originally a small port city, chosen by her graces to be saved. The successors of the old world before the Great Collapse, and might I add, thriving since then. Yes, we have had our up and downs through the days, but with the guild at our backs and the Bureau making decisions to keep us safe, we have absolutely nothing to fear going forward. I would like to thank every hunter gathered here today for keeping our walls safe, and more importantly, as of late, keeping the insides of our walls safe. I have another guest who I would like to make some sort of announcement. Miss Candace Everbright, can you come up to the stage?
Yeah, that's my girl. Well, not mine, everyone, but you know.
You hear a surprising amount of recognition for this name come from the crowd, and those of you who are here get a feeling for how much impact Middle Tower has had in the last 2 months. People know of you, and not just of Middle Tower, the organization, but some of the individuals as well.
Real quick.
Yes.
When I hear that Candace is about to be, I imagine there's like a stage.
Yes.
I would definitely like to make my way closer towards that stage.
Okay. You manage to sort of push your way through the crowd and get closer. She enters stage left and climbs up the stairs onto the stage. And as this is happening, Enlil, You are the first to see something in the distance. As you are keeping your sort of perimeter and you see this big scene happening, you see something, some sort of silhouette flash in between some of the trees and heading towards the festival. It is quite some distance from you, but it immediately catches your attention.
How far away is it?
Quite a distance, I would say, since you can see it in the tree line and the waterfront is fairly clear of trees, and you see it on the far side. I would say about 400, 500 feet out. It is quite a distance, but you see it jolt out from the tree line and make its way towards like the back of the stage.
Do I get an opportunity to use angel wings to appear in front of it? Considering it is in eyesight?
Yes, if you would so desire.
Because I do not have to roll for that.
That's true. So do you do that?
Yes.
I
draw my sword and appear.
You close this distance in a split second, and this figure is drawn aback and stumbles backwards as you appear in front of it. Since you are so close and there is slight lights from the festival, you can see that it is a... let me make sure I have the right stuff up here. Sorry. It is a humanoid figure with a hood and a large bag on its back, sort of held over its shoulder like a big sack. It's holding it with one sort of larger, grotesque hand. And it stumbles back and then tries to simply run past you. And this thing...
This thing
takes you by surprise how fast it starts to move. I will let you try to take a swing at it. If you'd like to.
Considering it's a humanoid shape, I don't think I would swing a sword at it. However, I would likely chase and grab and throw him on the ground.
Okay, act under pressure.
Act under pressure.
You have that +1 from your natural too, right?
Yeah, because it's chase. Chase, grab, throw to ground.
You succeed. The creature hits the ground and loses hold of its bag. Out of its bag, you see small glowing orbs of various sizes. Some of them come in different shapes as well. They touch the ground, and you see this wall of plants spring up in front of you. This huge vine, like Jack and the Beanstalk-esque vine, just explodes upwards, creating like a barrier between the two of you. And you see some of the some small orange orbs hit the ground and go underground for just a moment, and then you see what can only be described as what was in the reports: small shark buds pop out of the ground. Plural, of course.
Am I capable of holding this individual down?
When this beanstalk grew up, it cut off your connection with it.
It's time to get out the phone. I need to make a quick call. A very quick call.
Who are you calling?
Son.
Mr. Sun. You see this as you are pushing your way through the crowd and Candace is getting up onto the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You get a call from Enlil.
Picks it up real quickly while making his way to stage.
I need help.
What's going on?
Bad news. Shady individual. Humanoid.
Are people in danger?
They could be. Not
Where?
immediately.
Is Candace in danger?
I don't know. He got away. He was in the tree line. I'm currently in the tree line. I'm attempting to give chase.
Okay, send me your current coordinates, and he hangs up.
I can do that, right?
We've established that there's no real texting in this world, so I'll say that you essentially, and I will allow Enlil to essentially say, I am behind the stage, because that is where you are.
Okay.
Like, I am several hundred feet behind the stage.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, well that definitely solidifies what I need to do.
What's the situation?
Those shark monsters have showed up behind the stage. Get to Enlil, help her out. I'm grabbing Candace, making an announcement, telling everybody to go the opposite direction of where the monsters have shown up. She needs backup. Find everybody else you can. I'm going to get on the microphone and let everyone know.
As you are having this conversation with Red, Candace takes the mic from the individual who handed it to her and starts to speak. Thank you so much. Middle Tower has been, and as she finishes that sentence, one of those beanstalk-like vines that sprung up around or near Enlil breaks through the back of the stage and completely envelops Candace.
Oh.
Do we all see this?
Yes. This is extremely... Everybody who is here sees it. Noah, you would hear the crash as this vine, probably about 4 or 5 feet in diameter,
Oh my
breaks
god.
through the wooden back of the stage.
Quick question.
Yes.
How far is the trio with Ash, M, and Z away from the stage?
I would say you guys were probably middle of the pack. You guys probably got there at a decent time before things started to really fill up. And with that, a panic starts to rise over the crowd as people start running. Mr. Sun and Red, you guys are closest to the front of the stage. What do you do?
Take the mic, tell people to be orderly and how to evacuate. I'm going to try to bust this open.
I would say, yeah, Candace did drop the mic down onto the ground. So you hop onto the stage and grab a mic and tell people to get the fuck out, essentially.
I'm going to use the help person action. I'm using my special ability to save a life.
the
Leave no one behind.
Oh my god, I closed the
LinkedIn chat.
tab. I minimized the tab. Sorry. Leave no one behind. Help someone escape. Roll plus sharp. Alrighty. Get them out clean. This. I wouldn't say this necessarily applies in this situation. Because this is more physical. This is more you thinking and physically doing something. Roll manipulate someone if you are talking.
Oh no, I was talking about busting open.
Oh, you were trying to save Candace.
Yeah, to help her escape from her cocoon of.
Okay.
Probable
As you
death.
hop onto the stage, the vine that has enveloped Candace starts to like pull back, and you run up. And what are you doing to try and get at it?
Pull out my knife and try to crack it open like a walnut, I guess.
Just start tearing away at it.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll plus sharp then.
Sure.
Yep. 4. Leave no one behind.
Wow.
A 13. That is a full success. You tear open the sort of light hold that this vine has on Candace, and she falls to the ground as you drug your knife from like top to the bottom of the vine in one swift movement. She falls to the ground, and the vine retreats, and then you start to hear more panic run throughout the crowd as you see some of the small shark buds start popping up.
Oh god, this is exactly what I thought was gonna happen, sort of.
I have something for the trio.
Okay. Real quick, Red, since you are also up there and the microphone is close to you, do you want to try and calm the crowd?
Yeah, sure. I'll be like, I don't really know if calm is the word that I would use to the crowd.
Run for your lives!
Not
trying to
Yeah,
control
order.
them in a safer way
Yeah,
than they are
control.
currently being, because they have no
This-
plan. They are just running.
The location is compromised. Return to your homes. We'll have it under control.
Okay. Can you roll manipulate someone?
Yes.
I have a negative on these rolls, by the way. Oh,
A full success. You see the panicking crowd start to listen to your reason, and they, instead of running around and just scattering in a panic, they get a little bit more orderly, and they start heading towards the exit of the park, where security is currently helping fend off these creatures. Noah, you see in front of you, since you are on the outskirts, you see a group of 2 people start to get attacked by these shark buds. What do you do?
I had
2
one
of them
question.
pop out of the ground.
I had a question. Does this count as a mystery for pre-mystery rules? Because I took an expert feat at level 2 that has a pre-mystery rule.
I would say no.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
In that case, I would. Let's see. What do I have to work with? So there's a shark attacking the one of the bystanders.
Yes, there are 2 shark buds. They are not big, I will say. These
Okay,
the actual shark bud stood like at the end of the hunt, like 20 feet tall. These are
Yeah,
about
that's why I'm just sitting here
out
like
of,
I'm not 100%
completely
sure
out
if
of
I
the
can
ground.
do anything there.
Completely out of the ground. These things are like 3 feet tall. They are like
Okay.
ankle biters.
And do I see any other hunters in the immediate area?
Not immediately around you, no.
Okay.
You have sort of isolated yourself.
will then run over and try and like interpose myself between the innocent people and the shark buds, and I will pull out my shotgun and try and take a shot at one of them, I guess.
All right, roll kick some ass.
This will go well. Let's see here. I want hunter moves. Kick some ass.
Transfer to you the power of 8. Never mind.
Only
Yeah.
doves.
Only
That is a
dove.
10. That is a full success. You blast one of the shark buds, and the other one quickly, like, after the vibrations ring out from the shotgun, it turns tail and runs in a different, like, goes underground and seems to go in a different direction. And the, you have saved the two, and they start running.
Excellent.
Let's go to James and Little Willie.
Yes.
What are the two of you doing?
James, cover me.
What do you mean? He's gone already, isn't he?
As soon as I didn't want to speak up and take the because Mr. Sun doing stuff, but as soon as the bite on stage, oh yeah, cover me.
You went for Candace first, didn't you?
Yeah.
You make it up on the stage with Red and Mr. Sun. James, what do you end up doing?
So there's these little shark buds coming up out of the ground?
Yes, and you see them occasionally throughout the crowd sort of trying to bite at ankles.
So, because I was in the hunt with the large shark bud, I know what their weakness is.
That's
Are
right.
any of them exposing that?
You notice that since they are so... I will give you this for free. Since they are sort of adolescent, they are tiny baby shark buds. You can tell that the little orange orb that sort of connects the two parts of their mouth, it is constantly that brighter color, and it does not harden. So they are currently in a weakened state, or like permanently in a weakened state.
I mean, I'm just gonna go to the nearest one and try and remove it from the situation if I can.
All right, roll, kick some ass. Oh my god. A 14,
way,
a full
what is
success.
this?
You
Holy dubs.
swing your big sword down, which I'm assuming is what you have,
Yeah, sure.
and manage to cut one of these things clean in two, and it dies on the spot. Wallace, you said that you were keeping your distance from this.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be near where any of the general crowd is, but I'm not sure what exactly I'd be seeing from where I am.
Where you are, you being more observant than a lot of the other members, you see floating in the air, there is a light cloud of orange spores.
Is this similar to the spores that were in the first hunt?
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh no. I don't like where this is going.
Oh no.
Looking around for imps and spiders. Imps and spiders.
Every hunt, every
I
hunt.
don't like
Um,
this.
Spiders, please.
Okay. Shit. I don't have any fungicide on me.
I will
don't have-
say, like you guys already know Ellie is nearby with pretty much all the prototypes that she has made thus far. So she would have
Okay.
some of that formula on her.
Okay. This is just the spores, right? Which means
They have not attached to anything, but you see a cloud of these spores sort of looming over. It's light. It's not like a dense cloud, but you see the speckles of them floating sort of somewhat higher in the air. You can see them like reflected in the light. I guess reflected is the wrong word, but it's like when you see dust in a like stream of light, like dust floating through the air. That is what you see,
I get
and
it.
you can very much tell that they are orange, that same color.
Okay. Because it would probably take time for Ellie to get the stuff and come over, right? Or is Middle Tower close by?
I mean, Middle Tower isn't necessarily close by, but Ellie is on site.
Okay.
Yeah, Ellie is on site. Like I said, on site waiting with all of her stuff. So.
Okay, I'm going to call Ellie and explain to her what I'm seeing is a repeat of the first hunt, and that I need some sort of fungicide to deal with it.
Right, sprayers. I'll be right there. And she hangs up.
And can I read a bad situation here?
Yes.
Okay. Rad.
Wow, full success.
Only dubs.
3, man. I was only expecting the 1. All right. First things first. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? I'm looking mainly for any potential culprits I can notice immediately, other than these spores directly in front of me.
From where you are, you can see the stage in the distance, and you, same as Noah, heard the like shattering of the wood as it punched through. So you know of the vines, you know of the fungus, you see to the side of the stage from where you are, the creature with the bag.
Okay.
Those are all the dangers present to you. And of course,
Shit, no, I have 2 more holds that I don't know what to do with.
They are holds.
Well, you can hold them. You don't have to use them.
True. Okay. I'm gonna ask what's my best way in, but sort of like, what can we do to stop this thing from running around?
Trying to force it away.
From the crowd?
Yes. Trying to put distance or stall it or something. Because you don't know the extent of what it can do, the best thing you can do as a team is get the crowd out and stall it. That is your best way in, I guess.
Okay.
Is that sort of what you're looking for?
Yeah, just kind of, well, I guess, just kind of how to prevent more shit from happening. So yeah. I'm going to call Enlil, since I know she's staking the perimeter. And I want to let Enlil know of where the thing is, and tell her that we need to distract it and stall it so that we can get the crowd out.
Enlil, you would have, jumping back to you, you would have seen it running forward and you trying to keep pace with it, and it reaching the back of the stage before you got there. and it reaches into its bag with the hand that isn't grabbing the bag, and pulls out like what you can only assume is a grouping of these small spheres, and just that hand goes straight into the ground, and that vine appears and breaks through the back of the stage. And then you see it run around to the side of the stage after it pulls back the vine and sees that there is no Candace in it.
And I continue to give chase?
Yes, I would assume. So you get this phone call from Wallace. Do you even pick up as you are in front of it? You are somewhat near it.
I feel like I should.
Okay. So you answer as you are running towards it, and
I'd probably pick up with, I'm listening.
Grotesque humanoid figure running around with a bag of surprises. Need to stop it to get the crowd out.
I'm chasing it right now.
Oh, great. Can you do anything to distract it and stop it from doing what it's doing?
I can try to hack its legs off.
That would work. And then I will hang up for the sake of Endel to keep doing what she's doing.
Is this the part where I roll kick some ass?
Not quite yet. All of this is happening, and with Ash, Z, and M being a little bit more involved in the crowd and the panic, it took a little bit more time for you guys to react. But you see Little Willie get up onto the stage, and you are now free to do something as the three of you would also see it on the side of the stage. You would at least see the big sack that it has, the big sack that it's holding. You can see the top of that over the side of the stage.
You guys You guys need clear line of sight, right?
In theory, I have an idea of something for. Miss, do we see the shark buds or the fungus from where we are?
Yes. I mean, they're the. You guys probably wouldn't have noticed the fungus yet, as it is fairly high in the air, and a lot of the stuff that is immediately eye-catching is happening on the ground. Right. But the shark buds you would definitely see as they are sort of scattered throughout the crowd.
And would we have our abilities from the previous level up that we just got?
Yeah, this is a new month.
All right. I'm gonna turn to Ash and go. There are things we fought before. I'm going to activate my third eye in hopes to see, because it lets me see invisible things, and I'm going to attempt to read a bad situation to see if the imp is if a new imp has showed up.
Excellent.
Because I am worried that an imp may be released as well.
All right. Read a bad situation.
I hope that we have enough. Protecting people has never been my forte.
That's a mixed success.
Surprisingly,
hold one.
I just learned how to do better.
Well, I get a +1 hold as well, guaranteed.
Take plus
so
one,
it's 2 hold.
Even on a miss. No.
Yeah. No. On a 7+ you take +1 hold, so it's
additional. Yeah.
1 on top of the one I normally get. I believe.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So, that makes sense.
So it's on a 10 right. On a 10 plus it's 4 holds, and if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, hold 2.
Yeah. So where is any dangers we haven't noticed? As I can now have the ability, as a third spectral eye appears on my forehead, and I can see invisible creatures. Do I notice anything we haven't seen yet?
There is nothing you. There are no extra dangers. Everything that has been revealed to you, or that has been revealed to the group, is revealed to you as you look around. You look up and you see the fungus. There is only these plants that are your biggest danger.
All right. And then. I'm trying to see if it's the other way. Yeah, I guess I do what from where because the crowd is currently around me still, right? Like they're still rushing, or is it kind of cleared out at this point?
It's thanks to Red's message, it has cleared out. By the time you sort of like do your initial look around and are able to do things, you are the crowd is cleared out.
All right.
I have an idea. I don't know if this
Yeah, I
will
mean, yeah,
work with use magic or not, or if it would technically be big magic. But I want to try to bar a type of creature from, like, specifically the back of the kind of like alcove that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to kind of do that whole. Basically, she wants to slam the ground with her palm and basically make it like a wave of earth to push all of these shark buds to one area.
Okay, I see what you're doing. So bar people from a place, or bar
Yeah,
creature from a place. Okay.
I can help with that too.
let's say if it's big magic, you have Z and M with you
And
currently.
also I have a
Oh.
I have a thing for that as well, which is go big or go home, technically.
I would like to, as long as Z is willing, I would like the two of you to use big magic to do this, as you are trying to affect multiple creatures. Red, since you have already sort of done your thing, you are up on stage and helping out with that. But Z, if you are okay with it,
Z, can you help me with something?
This
I have an
is
idea.
gross, and this is disgusting. Let's do it.
Great. Also, I'm going to share my my move, which is the go big or go home.
you
Use magic as a requirement for big magic.
take +1 ongoing to those magic rolls. Okay, I would like both of you to roll use magic for me, and of course you may take the +1 for this.
Yeah.
And the conditions for this are, of course, rolling for use magic and there being multiple people. So
Yeah.
it is a full success and a mixed success. So there is one glitch. You may choose what you want the glitch to be.
Can you add the +1?
The +1 was for
It was for mine.
Yeah, Z does not get to take +1 to this.
Oh, I see.
God, what was the glitches again? What were the glitches again? Ah!
The effect is weakened. The effect is of short duration. You take 1 harm, ignore armor. The magic draws immediate, unwelcome attention. It has a problematic side effect.
I like unwelcome attention because all of those shark buds are going to be pretty pissed that we're moving them.
Yep. The two of you do this slam down onto the ground and make this earth wave that uproots all of these shark buds and pushes them. You guys are all on the like left side of the stage, and it pushes all of them to. Do you want them on the left or right side of the stage? Do you want to bring them towards you, or do you want to push them away?
I'd say bring them towards us technically because that's that'll help us deal with them a lot faster.
Okay. So you sort of pull them all together in one spot as you do that. Little Willie,
yeah.
you technically haven't made any kind of move yet.
Not yet.
What would you like to do? You can see off the left side of the stage, you see Candace is currently being helped up and helping gather herself by Mr. Sun.
Mr. Sun, yeah.
And you see this thing off the left side of the stage. What do you do?
So this thing is the shark bud, or is it the imp thing? What is it?
This is the grotesque figure.
Ah,
with the bag.
Right. Bagman.
Yes.
Okay. The mole people. Yeah, well, that seems to be the biggest, most closest danger. What could go wrong?
charge into immediate danger without hedging your bets. Do you just run right at it?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Paint this picture.
I don't have a board, so
Paint this picture for me.
So what kind of distance are we talking here?
Um,
Because I can go for distance, but
I'm trying to think of like one of the stages at like we'll say like the Puyallup Fair, or I guess the Washington State Fair now.
Oh.
Think about one of
Yeah, that
those
is the
big.
same thing.
Think about one of
Good
those
catch.
big stages.
Right.
Like the one that I normally hold concerts on and stuff. That is about
in the
that
grandstands.
is the width of the stage, and you are like sort of smack dead center of it right now.
Oh, and
So,
it's just at the end of the stage.
yeah.
Oh,
Is
so
off.
that's
It
pretty
is
close.
off the side of the stage. I would say about.
That's
I would
like-
say about
that's like
10 feet off
30
the side of the stage.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm within like 30 feet of that sucker. Hold on. We gotta get a good willy. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Come get some. That's what he would say. I was like, can't plan it out. Can't plan it.
Mhm.
And then I'm charging right at him. I take because I don't have my hoverboard, so I will take my multi-tool as my only weapon. Yeah, boy. Charging, kind of like pointing it forward, like if you were holding a pencil, forward, Whipping out the little knife part on that and just charging right for him.
Enlil, you are by this point, as all these things are sort of happening at the same time. By this point, you are like. The distance has been essentially closed. You are within about 50 feet of this thing. And you see Little Willie dive off the side of the stage, just as this thing raises its hand with some more of those orbs in its hand. What do you do?
All I can think of is just, I said I was gonna hack its legs off. No distance is too great for me. Is that just a kick some ass roll?
Roll kick some ass?
I don't suppose my... Actually, I can... Never mind.
What is the extra
Yeah.
effect you would like?
Let me pull that out, see the extra effects. It's gonna have to be force where I want.
And that is
To the ground.
to the ground.
Stay on the ground.
Okay.
I want this thing incapacitated.
I can't give you that off of that, but as you swing, you just swing at this thing's legs.
Yeah. Aiming to cut the legs all the way off.
As you make impact with your blade, it's like you are swinging into a like big redwood tree. That's what it feels like. These legs aren't that big when you look at them, but your sword just hits and catches. But you have enough force behind the swing that you essentially pull this thing off of its feet, and all of the little orbs that it was holding fall to the ground, and you see them hit the ground, and out from the ground springs the vines similar to the ones before, but they have thorns on them, and they grow from the ground like instantaneously, just like the other ones as well. And as they are springing up with those thorns, one cuts across your cheek, and you take 1 harm, ignore armor. But this thing has successfully been sort of brought to the ground. It looks at you and you see with the light, you can see just under its hood, and you see a large, toothy smile. Enlil, what color are your eyes, out of curiosity?
I always said colorless, as in white.
You see under the hood of this thing as the shade drops from, or like raises from the mouth and that big toothy smile to its eyes, and you see two bright green eyes.
Green?
Vines spring up from the ground around it and envelop it, similar to the fungus and the tree, similar to what that would do before with its victims. Grab it, and it is pulled down into the ground. It is gone. And little Willie, you sort of splat on the ground next to where it
just
was.
Belly flopped right onto hard.
Yeah, right onto the ground.
Is Enlil still there?
Yes, Enlil is
Yeah.
still
Okay,
there.
good. Okay, so didn't go with it. Good.
Yes.
Oh, well, give me a heads up next time.
I can give you a hand up. I
Oh,
don't know where it
good.
went.
Taking your hand.
So, like, are those thorn vines still growing?
They grew to like full extent instantaneously, or almost instantaneously.
So are they still here and threatening?
The vines aren't moving and doing anything. The fungus is still in the air, and the shark buds are still around. But most of the civilians have been evacuated, or are currently being evacuated.
Sounds like we should regroup with the others.
All the shark buds are grouped together.
All right, let's go get him.
Well, someone has to get the fungicide, but
The 10 of you get canisters of the fungicide and make fairly quick work of the small shark buds. They do not pose too much of a threat to any of you more hardened hunters at this point. And you manage to clear up most of them as far as you know. And as soon as this fungus sort of touches any of the plants that are next to you, you guys try and spray it down completely and spray the rest of the nearby forest just to make sure. There are no immediate signs of infection or shark buds left over. You all gather with Candace and Sarah, Jackie, and Ellie after this. Candace is sitting there, sort of trying to catch her breath after running back over to the meeting spot. Okay. First hunter group. Ash, Red, M, Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
present.
Aye.
Yes.
Go prep yourselves. We immediately have a hunt. The rest of you on standby. But we don't need to get everybody involved in this situation. A too many cooks in the kitchen for sort of situation.
Understood.
Thank you for helping.
Ooh. Are you okay, by the way?
Yeah, just surprised.
never in any danger.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Sun.
Well,
Yes.
unfortunately, we all kind of knew this was going to happen.
Hoped for it to not to,
Yeah.
but
Didn't want to believe
yes.
it.
I also am probably confirmed in my suspicion that the people of Metal Tower, specifically the Everbright twins, are targets. So please keep that in mind before you go about whatever you're doing next.
Did you know you were supposed to speak today, or did that lady, whoever she was, catch you off guard with it? Because my fear is that maybe she knew that there was going to be an attack and positioned you there intentionally.
I knew that I was supposed to be saying something today. But
Who else would have known?
I'm not
Was
sure.
the scheduled speech?
Yes, I was supposed to go on after somebody else made their announcement, and that would be the woman who is on the stage. I do not personally know her.
Oh, yeah. Did she look familiar?
Yes.
Any of us?
Fucking god damn it. I thought so. I legitimately started playing ominous music because this speech was very similar.
No one else
yes.
recognized. No one else
Didn't
recognized.
recognize.
Mr. Sun really the main character in the story? Like,
No.
Mr. Sun is actually the chosen. He's not the professional.
true.
Exactly.
He's a chosen professional.
Stop. So that was the person who told me to have fun
Yes.
today, by the way.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking wonderful.
What do you want us to do?
That's why I started making my way to this stage and why I was there so quickly to help out, because as soon as I saw her, I got a little nervous.
Do you know who she is?
I have no idea who she is.
How you dragged me along with it?
Where did you encounter her?
This morning. She was at the corporation's main meeting room with all the heads of the organization I work under.
I see.
And, she seemed to have a very close relationship with my superiors.
Interesting.
So
perhaps this organization is more in the open than I thought initially.
Yeah, well, they tend to be.
Not yours, but
Wait.
well, I mean, I'm not referring to your organization. I meant the mysterious one.
Many organizations.
However, that begs the question.
If this was a hit attempt and I was seen saving you, I might be in danger. So I'm gonna be going and collecting my things and moving into Middle Tower. Red, do the same.
I have
Let me
possible
be
worst.
the one to save her. They would have
I
ran
have
it off.
I have possible worst news as well. I assume my third eye would have faded at this point, but if not, some of my abilities allow me to see invisible creatures, and one of the things we fought for is the imp. None of the other previous monsters have shown up, so I fear that maybe if the other monsters that weren't native to this area, that weren't plant based and show up, maybe other organizations are behind those. We might be up against multiple things.
We could be overlooking actual job-related things and the clearly conspiracy but correct things. Not everything we fought has to be correlated with.
I'm just pointing out the fact that the spider thing wasn't plant based. This group seemed to only have plant based enemies. So that might be two separate groups.
Giant open field, easiest way to get plants to spread.
Oh,
and the spider is more of a target killer.
I'm just pointing out the fact that there was no indication of that umbrella symbol on from the orbs and stuff or the bag. that umbrella symbol didn't show up, so that may be a separate group. I'm not confirming or denying if that is the case here. I'm just pointing out that that is something we might want to consider.
Out of character question
Yes.
about the world, are imps something commonly seen, or not really?
I
Like,
would
is it-
say somewhat common. They're not normally as destructive as the one that you guys happen to see, but they are more common. They don't normally find their way inside the walls and tend to cause mischief to travelers who are on their way or explorers who are outside.
Okay.
Yeah. None of the other 4 creatures showed up, and the symbol that we know was on one of them wasn't anywhere today. So I would just bring up the concern that I have. Maybe there are multiple groups we need to be concerned about.
Well, that's the least of our concerns right now.
Yes.
Candace, what do you need us to do?
I agree.
Might have been
The
out
four,
of character. This might have been the red tape.
the 4 of you go get ready. Everybody else on standby. And with that, we will pick our hunt up, starting in the nightfall segment of time next time, and it will
shit.
Oh,
Oh.
it will run through the morning. So